I don't think this is a good idea. I just want to go on the record and say that I don't think this is a good idea. I, in fact, think this is a really effing bad idea. I think it's so bad that I have 4 beers with me with an option for 2 more because Trendalyn has been is Trendalyn okay, Trendalyn's here. Okay, good. Thank God you're here, Trendalyn, because if you weren't here and I was gonna sit through this on your behalf, I was gonna make you hear about it later. Trendalyn has been haranguing me and cajoling me and bribing me to watch the fat tranny episode of the whatever podcast. And I apologize if I'm not being politically correct or anything, or if someone finds that offensive. I don't care if people are trans. It makes no difference to me at all. I really like but like I don't know what else to call this. So I'm just assuming that this is an exercise in fat positivity. And so if it's an exercise in fat positivity, then I'm allowed to say that this person is a fat trans person. I mean, I don't know. Is tranny offensive? Are we canceled for saying that? I don't even know what the rules are anymore. I'm like, I hear different rules all the time, and I'm not trying to like be mean or anything. But I don't know what else to call this. I know it's a bad idea, but I'm still here for you. That seems to be the general consensus of when you guys convince me to watch something like the whatever podcast, which I really don't want to watch. I nearly shot myself in the foot the last time I did this, not figuratively. Because, well, maybe I was thinking not figuratively, not literally. Because that was a nice. Oh shit! This is already gonna go real well, isn't it? You all know what I meant, okay? I was seriously considering shooting myself in the foot just to get out of watching the whatever podcast last time we did this, or at least stabbing myself with a knitting needle. I in fact do have at all times a deck of tarot cards on my desk. But we're not doing that right now, Kino. We're not doing tarot cards right now, okay? That's more of a Joshua thing anyway. I'm like an amateur at tarot cards at best. Like I know a thing or two, but I'm not I don't know. Anyway. So we're gonna watch the whatever podcast because Trendalyn begged me to watch it because don't ever say I'm not a supportive cult leader again. Because Trendalyn is up for election to be the treasurer of the Libertarian Party of California. Everyone needs to wish her luck. And prior to her grand ascent, she requested that I watch this. And I was like, it's probably time. It's probably time. Trendalyn is trying to get me canceled off of YouTube by making me watch this and react however I want to react. If I still like everyone's just like pray that I still have a YouTube channel in the morning. Because I've been spicy today. I already got 3 tweets on Twitter limited for hate speech today because I called someone a tranny on Twitter. But you know what I found out is that if you use the term tranny in the same sentence as the word bitches, like apparently on Twitter you can't just say tranny. You have to say tranny bitches. And if you say tranny bitches, it is not hate speech and it's totally fine. But if you just say tranny, then it is not fine and it is definitely hate speech. That's what I learned today on Twitter. So we're having a good day. Things are good. And we're gonna sit here and we're gonna watch this until I feel like stopping. And I've got some beer to drink, and it is what it is. I am not going to watch 5 hours of this. I hope everyone realizes it. I am not going to watch 5 hours of this, but I'll watch for a little while. And if you guys want to direct me to Yasmin, are you offended? Are you offended by the word tranny? Like, if Yasmin gives me approval, I feel like I'm allowed to use it. If Yasmin, a black trans woman, is okay with me using the word tranny, then Elon Musk is full of shit and I'm allowed to use it on Twitter. So the power is yours, Yasmin. Let me know. Anyway, yeah, even Yasmin uses it. Yep. Yep. Obviously. All right. We're going to watch this, but before we do that, I just want to remind everyone that today we had a momentous day in the Unwoke art store. We launched a new design in the Unwoke art store, and it is the first ever design in the Unwoke art store that is not designed by me. It is designed by the illustrious Bot. Like, I just can't do any better than this design. And Bot graciously agreed to, well, I mean, she didn't even agree. Like, I didn't ask her. I said, Bot, you need to put this on a t-shirt because it's the 4 goals of the woke left on just an epic design. And I said, you need to put this on a t-shirt. And Bot said, I don't really want to. You can have it. And I said, you're serious. I can put that on a t-shirt. And she said, yep. And she sent me the design. And so now I have a whole line of 4 goals of the woke left merch. This is like the most requested thing that you guys have wanted for a long ass time. You can get it on t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies. I even did the zip hoodie, which I don't do that often, but this is the hoodie that I wear all the time on the stream. And I'm definitely going to get myself one of these. The design is on the back. So you're like a walking billboard for this. I can't wait. Bot's gonna get as much merch as she wants. She can let me know what she wants. We got sweatshirts, long sleeve shirts, bag. I even did a pint glass because I figured if you're gonna be learning about the 4 goals of the woke left, you might as well be drinking beer. And so that's my first pint glass I've ever done. I'm pretty excited about that. We've got posters. We've even got like a nice framed poster if you want to hang it up. Like I know Brooklyn is getting this, and she's hanging hers up next to a Peter Max, which Peter Max is like a real artist, and Brooklyn has a Peter Max. Peter Max stuff is expensive, yo. Peter Max stuff is expensive. We're talking so you can get your unwoke art and hang it up next to your fine art. Be great. It'd be great. That and the best part is that this is all everything with this design on it is going to be 25% off for the rest of the month. And so all you need to do is add it to your cart. You don't need a coupon code or anything. The discount is automatically taken at checkout. So head over, get it while you can. This is going to stay in the store because I really, really, really like it. But you can only get it for 25% off once, and maybe at Christmas if I do it again. But I only do these 25% off things once when I launch a product. So go ahead, grab it, be one of the first. We've already gotten a bunch of orders in, so I am appreciative of everyone who has ordered it so far. Sunspot. I hung out with Christian Hartsock for a while yesterday. We glowingly talked about you. He says hi, says you're ridiculously smart, and says thanks for what you did for Project Veritas. Well, Christian is a character, and I was, very blessed to be able to meet him and chat with him during that crazy time. And I hope Christian's doing well. I hope everyone that got summarily booted out of Project Veritas after James O'Keefe sunk the organization and then went on a conservative media smear campaign in which he got a whole bunch of conservative influencers to lie to him. If you think that Project Veritas failed because of anything having to do with Pfizer, you fell for a James O'Keefe smear campaign. James O'Keefe is not a good person. He is not to be trusted. I will never trust anything that comes out of O'Keefe Media Group. I don't care what it says. I don't care because James O'Keefe is not to be trusted. And I tried to tell their story, and a lot of people try to tell their story, but sadly, the conservative media smear machine is just too powerful, and it was what it was. But I hope everyone that I met and talked to during that is doing well, and not working for James O'Keefe anymore is a good start, but he's not good news, guys. And I'm sorry for people who like him. He's not good news. But Christian Hartsock is. He's a good dude, and I appreciate him. All right, let me see. Yeah, I kind of feel the same. I've got some beers. We're just gonna get this started. I'm not gonna make a big old fucking stink out of it. Who the fuck are you? You get a timeout, bro. For people who might be new to me, we have 2 rules in my chat. Number 1, don't be a dick. You will not insult me. You will not insult other people in my audience. And you will sure as shit not tell me to stop talking if I feel like talking, especially if you are new here and especially if I don't know you. You do that shit again, you're just going to get banned and then you're going to be talking into the ether and you're going to wonder why no one's responding to you because you got banned for being a dick. Number 2, no whining. I don't want to hear it. This is my stream. This is not your stream. If you don't want to be here, get the fuck out and go watch something else. It's really simple, guys. I am in no mood. It's not even lipstick. It's just gloss. Just lip gloss. Psh. People are always like, Carlin, you have chapped lips on the internet. It happens. It happens. All right. Oh, Mama Tembo, I haven't seen you in a bit. I hope everything is going well with you. Did you send a super chat? Oh, sorry, Kino. Please send positive vibes. I just put in an offer on a house. I need all the help I can get. Everyone send positive vibes to Kino that his offer goes through on his house. We believe in you, Kino, and if it doesn't go through this time, you're going to find exactly the right place. I don't like you very much, Trendalyn. I don't like you very much at all. And this is really, really cruel. I'm going to do it because I said I would, but I'm not going to forget this, Trendalyn. All right, let's get started.
And we are live. Welcome to the Whatever Dating Talk podcast, episode 69. By the way, thanks for tuning in tonight. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're...
Oh, shit. I didn't want to turn the volume all the way down. I just want to turn down a little bit.
For California every Sunday and Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific.
Does the volume sound okay?
I'm your host, Brian Atlas.
Hang on. Let me see. Amelia. Speaking of conservative influencers, what would Tim Pool affecting culture actually look like? He keeps making music that is not good. I agree that Tim Pool is making music that is not good, but you know what? Maybe if Tim Pool keeps making music that is not good, someday his music will get better. I mean, really, like when I first started doing like merch and stuff, I mean, I thought my merch was okay and I think it was okay, but I look back at some of my earlier designs and I'm like, that kind of sucked. It wasn't as good as you thought it was. And then I got better because I made more merch and then I got better and better and better and better and better. And I think that, you know, I mean, I think you say like merch is just like, yo, it's just about selling shit. Well, and it is about selling shit, but it's also giving people something to wear into the world to advertise what they are. So I think that's a viable way to create culture. But my bigger point is like, maybe Tim's music will get better, but he likes doing it. And so I guess be happy that he's doing something that he likes. But I don't know. I don't think Tim is changing culture. I don't know if Tim has the power to change culture. I don't know if any of us have the power to change culture. So who knows? But I think it's a good question.
Joined by my co-host Kiki. She's somewhere back there. Bit shy. Okay, a few quick announcements before the show begins. This podcast is viewer supported. Heavy YouTube demonetization, so we make nearly nothing from ad revenue. So please consider donating through Streamlabs.
Oh,
instead of super chatting.
I'm drinking a Sam Adams Boston Lager.
Instead of super chatting. Yeah, there is. It's the Streamlabs tab. Did you close that out? Bro, you're scuffing this. Hello? Oh my God.
It's so over.
In my Sam Adams
glass. It was literally just working. How did you... Bro.
Just like socialists.
We should just keep rolling.
Okay,
no better
Eric,
than
go to the window tab. Go all the way down. Scroll down to display.
This is the future, guys, right here. This is the future.
Okay, there it is. All right, hold on.
This is the future.
How did that happen? Scuffed. Okay, in any case, please consider donating through Streamlabs instead of super chatting.
No, this is just the Boston Lager. It's not the winter one.
So
I don't like your winter one.
YouTube takes 30. If you donate 100, Streamlabs only takes 3. Donations and super chats $5 and up will be displayed in stream overlay. All super chats $50 and up will be read. And yeah, so if you just go there, you click on super chat, you can scroll all the way. You guys show the one, Eric. Show the one. There you go. Yeah. In case someone wants to donate the $1.
How are they demonetized if people are sending super chats?
All super chats $100 and up will be read. scuffed as usual. That's my bad. Yeah, we have to boost it. We want a smooth show today. So TTS is going to be 200 and up. Super chats, donations, 100 and up, whether that's through super chats or whether that's through Streamlabs, will be read. Please see the description for full details. And like I said,
This is
TTS
who we have to
triggers
rely on
only
to save
through
us
Streamlabs now.
right here.
If there are any updates,
Okay.
much we will
Get into the fucking introductions
follow
or whatever
and
the
up to your
fuck.
Twitch. You have MK follow
Jesus Christ.
in the description.
The certified baddie.
Okay.
Talking to the
Oh,
mic.
hang on. I gotta go
Three,
back. Hang on.
That is
I
200K.
fast forwarded too much.
Without
There we
further
go.
ado, we're going to have the guests introduce themselves. So please tell us your name, age, and occupation. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Kiko. I'm 23. I go to UCSB and I also bartend.
I'm Allie, but I'm known for Al Weezy. I'm 23 years old from Arizona. And I'm a
23.
certified bad bitch.
You're,
The certified baddie.
Talking to the mic.
Yeah, talking to the mic, just so they can hear you.
Say your occupation one more time for us.
Just so they.
My occupation is a certified bad bitch.
What was your
Very
age?
much-
What was your age again?
Very much baddie vibes. I'm 23 years old.
Okay, and Kiko 23. Right?
23.
And certified bad
Yo.
bitch or boss.
Very much baddie vibes.
Baddie- what-
full-time
Listen,
baddie.
like I
No
already
breaks.
can I just say, like,
What? So-
I actually already feel really uncomfortable watching this. Like really uncomfortable because like I feel bad for this person. I just do. I'm sorry. Like I feel bad. This person is 23 and obviously has problems, okay? And this entire show is just going to be shitting on this person that's 23 and obviously has problems. And that makes me feel bad. Listen, I know I can be a bitch. I know that if someone comes at me, I have absolutely no problem in going right at them and trying to nail them right between the eyes. I have no issue with that. But it's just like, it makes me feel gross to watch this. And I understand that this person is clout chasing, and I understand that this person wants to be internet famous because they think it's going to bring them some form of validation that they obviously and clearly are not giving themselves. It just makes me feel really gross.
Very much full time.
What does that mean? Can you explain that?
It's just a lifestyle. Like I mean, if you get it, you get it. The rules are there. I mean, I feel like every woman can be a certified baddie. It's just the mindset, and it's a full-time job.
But if you had, if there was a dictionary and you were hired by Webster's to define certified bad bitch, is that what it is?
Yes.
What would be the dictionary definition of a certified bad bitch?
I would have to say, I mean, if just like toning it down completely, just a woman who's confident in herself, does whatever she wants for herself, nobody else, just women, whatever, men, whatever, anybody can be a certified bad bitch. I think it's just the level of confidence.
Like,
and it's the
you guys realize, right? Like, this person is a victim. And I don't say that in terms of like, oh, like they're a victim, give them sympathy because they're a victim. But this person is a victim of an ideology that they probably started learning when they were really young. Maybe even got forced fed to them by their parents. Certainly got force fed to them by their teachers. And now they're 23 years old and they present like this. And they're like, this person is like, you're so stupid when you're 23. Like, can I, like, for people who are young, you may not understand this. And certainly I thought I knew everything at 23 years old too. But you are stupid when you're 23. And so it's just like, yo, this person has no idea how much stuff they don't know. This person maybe will look back on this like 10, 15 years from now and go, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, I'm so like, I am so grateful that I was not on social media when I was in college and like right after, because the things that I said and did when I first graduated from college, yo, you guys think I'm spicy on the internet now? I've tempered significantly. And so if the internet was around when I was 23 and I was on the internet and I was doing this stuff, which wouldn't have actually been out of the question at the time because I was really into all this stuff. Like if it had been like an option, I probably would have done it. And I think I would very much regret that today. Well, this is what I'm saying. It's just like this, you know it, but this person, and you have to make sure that like they have to take responsibility for this too. They put themselves in this position knowing what this was going to be. Which is like another sign of like you obviously have mental health problems. Like this is like a humiliation fetish. But it doesn't make me feel any better to watch it. The only use for this is pointing out that a person is queer, activist, true believer, or an unfortunate victim being mocked further for drama's sake. Yeah.
Mindset for sure.
Is that the occupation you list on your taxes?
Oh, for sure.
Nice.
Very much that. Very much the vibes.
Okay, good times. What about you?
My name's also Allie. I'm 19 and I'm a student at Santa Barbara City College.
Are you also a certified bad bitch?
I try to be, yeah.
My name's Madison. I'm 18. I'm a student at SBCC and I'm studying econ and accounting.
I'm Billy Ray. I'm 25 and I make men's dating advice content.
Wow.
My name is Deborah. I'm 23 and I make conservative content.
Yeah, real conservative.
My name is Samuel. I'm a biochemist full-time, but I'm also full-time jiu-jitsu artist. Catch me live on UFC Fight Pass this Saturday, competing to win gold.
How old are you, Sam?
Oh, I'm 27.
My name's Chase, 28 years old, professional photographer and brand consultant. What up, fam? Good to see you guys here.
Okay, rock and roll. Everyone's Instagrams are in the description. So we're going to go around the table once more. What is your current relationship status? Are you single? Do you got friends with benefits? Are you in the talking stage, situationship, relationship? And also,
I'm so glad I never have to date anymore.
Relationship. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm in a very committed relationship with my boyfriend right now, and my longest relationship was like 2.5 years.
For people in the chat who are dating, like, what is it like to date now? Does it suck? Like, how badly does it suck? Let us know in the chat what your experience is if you're dating. I'm so glad I never have to date again.
I'm very much as single as they come, and my longest, I guess no real relationship yet, but my longest talking phases have to be almost a year, I'd have to say.
Wow.
Talking phase.
Oh my
have you ever had
God.
a boyfriend?
No. Like officially, no.
Okay, but you have had like a
Long-term.
concurrent period of time, like you said, a 1 year period of time where you did have
very much like a year-long talking stage. but
Year-long
more
A
like-
year-long
talking
talking
stage.
stage.
what is talking stage? So what is that? If anyone else wants to chime in, what is the talking stage?
Hell.
It's like a question of loyalty, honestly. Like you're just wondering at that point if you're in the talking stage.
Yeah, what did that mean for you?
They couldn't have explained it any better. It's literally hell. Like
Purgatory.
it tests your loyalty, absolutely.
Wait, it what?
Like test the loyalty.
For you or
No,
for
like
the guy?
in general, like for both parties. I guess.
Did you want commitment, but he wasn't willing to give it?
Basically was what it was. Yeah, they
Okay.
couldn't have said it any better.
I feel like the talking stage is like when you add something to your cart on a website and there's like only one left, but it's reserved because it's in your cart, but you don't actually buy it.
It's a pretty
That's
good
kind
metaphor.
of what it is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently in a relationship. This is also my first relationship.
How long have you been in seeing this guy?
We just started dating on the 5th actually, so it's pretty fresh, but I've been talking to him for about 6 months, or I've known him for about 6 months.
Were you guys friends for the first 5 months? Kind of.
Kind of.
Or was it the talking stage for the
was a talk-
5
it was a
months?
Yeah, I would say it was a talking stage, yeah.
For 5 months, and now you guys have been dating for 1 month.
Yes.
Who brought the topic to wanting it to become something more serious? Was it you? Was it him? Was it kind of mutual?
I think it was kind of mutual.
Straight into the mic.
It was more of, if I would say, the timing, sort of.
Timing?
But I think it was just a mutual thing.
What do you mean timing?
I don't think he originally wanted to start dating necessarily. In college, he didn't see in his future, but we just both kind of started liking each other. So it got, I don't know.
Quite
changed
so
up.
sure. Question: during the 5-month talking stage, were you like dating other guys too?
No.
Just him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was he seeing other girls?
No.
You sure about that?
You kind of smiled a little bit when
No.
You're not sure about that?
here try to
I
be
would
straight into the
say,
mic if you can.
Possibly in the beginning,
Hmm.
but not towards the end. Or
Okay.
Isn't that kind of what the talking stage is? It's like you meet someone and you guys are still dating, and like you both know that you're seeing other people, but no one's willing to commit yet. Right. And like that lasts for as long until that person either finds someone that they really like while they're dating other people, or they kind of just fall back on whoever they're talking to at that time.
It's like the
That's
modern
exactly
version
what-
of dating, like how we're supposed to go on dates and get to know somebody, but no one's going on really dates anymore. They just start hooking up. So just imagine how adults would say, like, oh, we started dating, going on dates.
And you guys are okay with that?
I'm not.
You're not? Allie, are you
You're not
were
okay
you
with just
with
getting
that
to
in the
know
beginning,
someone?
or was it a struggle?
in the beginning, it was okay, but we both talked to each other about, and we were like exclusive with each other for a couple months. So before we started dating.
How soon did you know that you wanted to like date him exclusively?
I would say probably like the second month in.
Would you say it took him a little bit longer?
Do people get to know each other before they hook up and jump into like an exclusive relationship? Does that still happen? I'm honestly asking because like this idea of like there being no kind of like talking or getting to know you stage is rather bizarre to me. And listen, man, I had my fair share of one night stands in college, but I also had people that I dated that I wanted more of like a relationship with. And if you like, there's a difference between when you meet someone and you want to fuck versus you meet someone and you're like, okay, I can actually see like we get along, we have fun. Like you know, those are two different kinds of things, and they should be approached, I think, differently.
To come to the same conclusion?
I would say it was pretty mutual, but just again with the timing, I don't know, honestly.
That's okay.
It just ended up working out, so, and I'm very happy, so.
Sweet.
Oh, sorry. One thing. Can I have you scoot your microphone closer to?
Here?
Yeah, scoot it this way a little bit.
Yeah.
Perfect. Go ahead.
I'm still very taken, and my longest relationship has been 10 months.
Is that your current one?
No.
Okay. Still very taken. Are you still very much going to marry your current boyfriend?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Does he feel the same way?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am in a relationship. He's
Then why
watching
are they
this.
engaged?
Okay.
Love you. And the longest relationship I was in was about 4-ish years.
Oh, so I wasn't laughing at you. Okay, cool. What about you?
He's definitely watching this too, so we're gonna be nice and say situationship, but I am basically single right now, I guess.
Wait.
Oh, she's trying
Hold
to
on.
guilt him into committing. Is what's
I
going
can't
on.
explain that.
She's giving him more credit than he
This will
Yeah,
realize a fun
yeah.
conversation later.
Yeah. Let's say we met, things were great. And then I just didn't see it going in the direction that I wanted it to. So I ended things. And then I was at my friend's wedding and I was like, oh, what's the harm in just texting him? And then we've hung out a few times, no hooking up, just truly hanging
She's
out.
trying
and
to
things are going
guilt
well
him
now,
into
so
a
we're gonna see, but
relationship.
I also don't believe in being exclusive unless you're actually dating. I think that's just a way to trap.
Yo, this bitch is doing some psychological manipulation on the internet. Because if she was single, then and she wasn't just trying to use this as an opportunity to like try to manipulate him into a relationship, she would have said, I'm single, and left it at that. This is like, goddamn women. I swear to God, it's like this is one of the reasons I'm so glad that I don't have to date ever again, because I feel like when you're in those situations and it's usually the woman, and I acknowledge that it's usually the woman, and I may have done this when I was younger and stupid, but then I grew up and learned. It's like you can't, if you want to have a healthy relationship with someone, psychologically manipulating a man into a relationship that he's not ready to be in, or he doesn't want to commit to, or trying to trick him to do something that he didn't want to do, but then you did something, like went on a fucking internet show to try to emotionally manipulate him into committing to you by saying, well, really, I'm single, but really there's a situation and he's going to be watching this, but I'm single. It's like, that relationship is not going to last, because that relationship is just a power play between two people. Relationships are balanced. They're even. They're give and take. You can't pressure someone into being in a functional relationship with you if you've had to trick them in order to get them to commit to you in the first place. Like, do you really want your love story to be, we were kind of dating, but then we broke up, and then we kind of started texting again, and then I went on the whatever podcast and I said, I'm kind of seeing someone, but not really, because I'm single, and that was the thing that got him to commit to me? Is that what you want your love story to be? Makes no sense. Yeah, that dude should run. That dude, before this episode is even over, should have her number blocked. Don't ever text that bitch again. Because she's trying to manipulate someone into marrying her, is what's happening. And it's probably one of those situations where she feels, because she's a conservative, she feels like she has to be married by a certain age in order to be a conservative influencer. So it doesn't really matter who. She's just trying to find someone to put a ring on it. And she's going to find out a couple years into that marriage that actually having a functional relationship takes a little bit more than tricking someone into liking you.
Huh? Wait.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
think,
believe in being exclusive.
I know I believe in being exclusive. I'm very for monogamy, but I think it's like a modern day thing. Like, we're exclusive, but we're not dating. Like, that's just such a
Run.
scam for people who don't want to actually
Run.
fully send a relationship.
Wait, but I
Run.
thought you said you don't believe in
Mm-mm.
being exclusive unless you're dating.
Yeah, like people will be exclusive, talking to each other. They're not going to hook up with other people, but it's like, that's not my boyfriend. That's not my girlfriend. I think that's a scam.
That's so weird. Who does that?
That's
A
the
lot
talking
of
stage.
people.
That's so weird.
It's part of the
It's true.
talking stage. Yeah.
But so what you're saying is, when you are in the talking stage or you're in a situationship, you're not exclusive with the person you're in a talking stage.
Until you're
with.
officially dating, I would say, like, you're allowed to go on other dates. I don't think you should have sex with other people, depending on how serious a relationship
shouldn't
is,
have
but going on
sex.
other dates, yeah.
Have you committed to not
If you're
having
dating
sex?
somebody, if you don't have a boyfriend, nothing should stop you from finding that person.
Wait, do you
So
think
you-
that you should be able to have sex with other people when you're in that relationship?
No, of course not. I'm a very big fan
You
of
got- speak into the
monogamy,
mic, please.
but I also think the talking stage, different than the 1 year, I think that would be a situationship. I think the talking stage is like the first 3 months. And in those few months, it's kind of natural. If you don't want to go on other dates with other people, you're kind of seeing where it goes. But then once that time is up, if that just continues 9 months of being in the talking stage, you don't deserve to be exclusive with that person. Either commit or go find somebody else that you actually want to commit to.
Based.
Dude, who stays
Thank
in the
you.
talking stage for 9 months? That's crazy.
That's a
Bitches.
lie.
people
When
do.
people say men know, they know. If you are with the one,
Yeah,
She's
you
right.
won't want to
Facts.
date
She's
anybody
right.
else.
That's
You
true.
won't be like, I need to keep my options open. You're
that
gonna
is very, very true. I knew I wanted to marry my husband on our second date. We were married within 6 months of meeting. And yeah, the fact that he was going to get deported did have something to do with it, but not really, because it was more just a timing thing. It was like, I already knew I wanted to marry him. He already knew he wanted to marry me. It wasn't that big of a thing. And then he almost got deported. And I was like, well, we wanted to do this thing anyway. And so we might as well do the thing. And then we got married. And then 4 years later, he got a permanent resident alien card. And well, magically, we didn't get divorced. And so, people like, I had these bitches on this irrelevant platform making fun of me and saying I had a green card marriage. The reality is that I knew I wanted to marry him on our second date. And if he wanted to divorce me and keep his permanent resident status, he could have done it over 8 years ago. So the instinct worked out beautifully.
Immediately want to commit to them.
This
I
is-
used to think the same way
this
until
is
I met my
facts.
boyfriend. Now I understand. Once you meet someone, you don't. What are you laughing at?
You're
Brian?
right.
Just not
What are you laughing at, bro?
Don't worry about it.
You're-
Don't worry about it.
I think
Exactly.
Kiko's right, but the problem
Exactly. Magically, the people running their mouths about my relationship with my husband never seem to be married, never really seem to be in functional relationships themselves, just always running their mouths on the internet. It's true.
with dating these days
Not
is
laughing at
that
you either.
Talking about that.
men don't want to give away that commitment too quickly because they're afraid that the woman is going to get turned off by that. So
Yeah.
when a man finds someone that a girl that he really likes and really wants to pursue, I think a lot of guys know not to show like that they're
No.
really
No.
into her right away because
Hard.
it's going to scare her off.
No.
And
My
that's how you
boyfriend
get stuck.
No.
That's how you get stuck in this limbo
Yeah.
on both
Ladies,
sides.
do you guys agree with that?
For
You
the
think
most
he's
part, yeah.
right with that?
I kind of get your point definitely
Spot
with
on.
that. Yeah.
I think that could be like just a modern day thing that people are very scared of, like intense relationships these days. That's why there's talking stages, all these things where you don't actually have to commit. But if you compare 1 year situationship to people who have been dating for 5 months, I don't think there's a big difference. You're hanging out all the time, you're going on dates, you're not really wanting to see other people. So I think that's just a product of our times that people are just scared of the real thing.
I would say so. Exclusivity and marriage, you run the risk of ending up with the wrong person and then
Yeah.
hitched for life. And that's a scary thing for people. But also at the same time, I don't know, like I'm the kind of guy, like if I really like a girl and I know I could see myself spending the rest of my life with her, I know pretty quickly, and I don't know.
Is he
My
married?
friends, they have a saying, especially when it comes to like relationships or like big career decisions. They say if it's not a fuck yes, then it's a no.
That's good
I say
advice,
if it's not
actually.
if it's a maybe, then it's a hard no.
Right.
Yeah, especially when it comes to like marriage or like ending up with
Mhm.
somebody long term. Like if it's like a
That's a
maybe
good
and you're,
advice
like,
for a lot of
iffy about
things.
it, like it should be something where you're like yes,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Same thing when I buy
Slime.
clothes. I'm
I
like,
have
if
many
I'm not obsessed with
slimes.
this when I try it on, I'm never gonna wear it at home.
I have that mindset with men, but not clothes yet. I need to get that mindset. Maybe it would save me some money.
Yeah.
What was the question again? The longest you've been in a relationship?
Relationship status.
This slime is like playing with a Rice Krispie square, but I can't eat
Yo,
shitty eat
Flan
it
Life, thank you
blue,
for the
but
big 20 gifted memberships, man.
it's
Appreciate it.
neat.
What's the trigger for that, by the way? Anybody? Chat? Well, okay.
Relationship
Current
status,
relationship
yeah.
status,
So
longest relationship.
I'm recently single, and my longest relationship was about 3.5 years.
Nice. Yeah, I'm currently single. Longest relationship was like 1.5 years.
Okay. And do you want to, for the new viewers who are tuning in, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're looking for, Chase?
Me personally?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, bro,
And what you're doing too.
in terms of finding that.
No,
Finding what I'm looking for?
in terms of the commitment that you've made in term that you're waiting for something.
Yo.
I am.
I
would
do it.
Yeah.
I would do
wanna
it.
Find my wife, bro.
Tell them how you're born again.
What are the requirements?
Maybe I
What are
will
the
do it.
requirements for a
Yeah.
wife? Well, she's got to love the Lord. She's got to be unvaccinated. She has to be politically conservative. I think if somebody truly loves the Lord, they will naturally be politically conservative.
Okay. Okay.
Has to be traditionally feminine. Are you shaking your head at that?
Keep going.
Let's get ready to rumble. Traditionally feminine. If a woman loves the Lord and she subscribes to
True.
biblical values, she will understand that
I have no
it
relation
is the
to this
man's
at all.
job to lead the family, provide for the family, and to lead the family under the headship of Christ. And it's the woman's job to submit to that man's headship in the family. So a woman that's cool with the idea of submission. Now, a lot of women have issues with the idea of submission, understandably so. What I would be bringing to the table in a scenario like marriage is actually being worthy of submitting to as a man, right? Earning her submission through good leadership. But yeah, dude, I'm looking for a wife, and I'm not like intensely looking. I recently went through an interesting relationship situation, and I'm kind of taking a break from looking for the time being.
His DMs are open though.
Yes.
DMs are open.
Yes, they are.
So do you Do you want a virgin?
Ideally, absolutely.
Can she be a born again virgin?
That is a horrible
mean,
idea.
I'm not
Not
like,
having sex
terribly
before you
opposed
get
to it.
married is
Like,
a
I'm-
horrible
You
idea.
could call me a born again virgin. In the
You might
sense
not
that I
have
stopped
sexual
having sex
chemistry.
3 years
Like,
ago.
I mean, last time I was on with you called yourself a born again virgin.
I don't know if I
Definitely.
used those words.
You said that you.
I think I simply said that I started saving myself a few years ago. I don't believe in the whole idea of like born again virginity.
Yeah,
Like, I don't
maybe
think you
someone
can, like,
maybe someone else said it.
I don't think you can like reclaim your virginity. you
Is
know?
it like
Thank
a
you. Okay.
complete deal breaker if she's not a virgin?
It's not a complete deal breaker. no.
Listen.
But like if she has a high body count, like, you know,
I gave Hormaxer a bunch of shit, and I don't regret that because he was an asshole. But what I will say is this. The only eventuality in which I will ever watch the Whatever podcast again is if Hormaxer goes on the Whatever podcast. I would absolutely watch that. That would be... that would be great. that would be content. That would be great. But that's all the thoughts I have for right now.
What's considered high?
I mean, if her
How
body
many
count,
do you have?
If her body count
Me?
is higher,
Yeah.
12,
Chase, is that too much?
including
it's too
girls and
much.
boys.
If Kiko became a born again virgin, do you think that there's
I think
a
if
potential match
if
between
Kiko
you
and I
Kiko?
got married, one of us would not make it out of the marriage alive. Probably me.
I've never touched anyone in my life.
Not even your current boyfriend.
I mean, like in a harmful way. Like
she
I've never
wouldn't-
gotten into a fight.
wouldn't
I've never
physically
with a
abuse
girl.
you?
I'm not a physical person.
You've never thrown like an axe at a boyfriend or anything.
Axe?
No,
Or
but
like a
um,
Tupperware or some shit.
no. If her body count's higher than mine, which is 7, it's a deal breaker.
Well, technically, if 'cause you
Seriously?
probably wouldn't count girls for me, right?
Wow.
So mine would be under 7 then.
You know,
I would
wow.
count. I would count girls.
Oh, you would? Okay.
Oh,
That's
that
also
counts.
kind of a deal breaker for me.
If she's been with girls,
Yeah, totally,
that's a deal breaker for you.
totally, dude.
Why is that?
Because I don't want the bisexual woman, bro. Sorry, Kiko.
I mean, you think I was on a date chase, anyways?
Are you bisexual or are you was it just, you know?
I
Right.
I think we all
But
well, when I say
But Hormaxer is a character, and he would be disruptive and belligerent the entire time, and he would piss all the girls off, and they'd all be crying, and it would it would be so great. Hormaxer for the Whatever podcast. That is a campaign I can get behind.
my longest relationship was with a girl. When I say the two, when I refer to the 2.5, but that was in high school. I have not dated or like been with a girl since high school. So I would I call myself bisexual today? I don't know anymore.
Would you marry a woman?
That's the thing. That's why I can realize I probably wouldn't. No, that's why we ended. I don't see myself living that life.
When did you know that you were bisexual?
Always.
Always?
when
So,
you
So
were a
like
little girl.
when I was younger, like
You were
I
attracted to women when you were younger?
yeah, probably. I find them attractive, but I realize I don't plan. Yeah, I would not marry a girl or go past that.
Why
point.
wouldn't you marry a girl?
Because
Because you're not
honestly, if I'm being for
crazy.
real, the main reason was because I'm not going to pay to have kids when I know I'm fertile myself. I rather not have to spend thousands of dollars to have a child,
Mhm.
and I can sound pussy. It's easier.
I mean, you could just go
It's
get knocked
simply
up.
easier
You
to live a
mentioned-
heteronormative life.
You mentioned that you
Heteronormative. There it
recently
is.
came back to the church. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Yes. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, hallelujah. With recently coming back to the church, do you feel like that would
Sorry, go ahead.
do you feel like
Misclick.
with recently coming back to the church, do you feel like that precludes you from having more relationships with women? Do you feel like there'd be a contradiction of your faith there?
No, because honestly, before how I just came back to the church right now, the last time that I was in Christianity was with my ex-girlfriend. We used to go to church every Sunday.
And none of your pastors or priests said anything
Our
about your
church
guys'
loved
relationship?
us. Really, really inspired us. They are true Christians that realize we're all sinners and no sin is greater than the other. So
They just don't follow the Bible.
they do follow the Bible, and they follow the Bible how the fact that they are not there to judge. We only until that day comes. My pastor is not the one set out to judge me and my
You paid
decisions.
$6,000
There's so many
to
things
have
in
a
the Bible that is
C-section?
considered a sin.
Yo, I'm never having kids now. I'm not. It's never gonna happen. No, not worth it. Not effing worth it. Sorry.
You can't just ostracize some people and say those sins are worse than the others. That's not how it works. All sins are equal.
That's not true.
It is
There
true.
is no, it's not.
And love thy neighbor, you know?
Scripturally speaking, yes, but loving thy neighbor does not mean approving of the evils that thy neighbor is doing, right? This is why Jesus, when he would speak to people, he would tell them, go and sin no more, right? He would love them and he would give them mercy.
But he would still forgive me tomorrow. So,
What's happening?
It's Brian's incredibly elongated sound effects. Yeah, he would love them and he would give them mercy, but also at the same time, he would tell
That's
them
not
to go
funny.
and sin no more, right? And there is a hierarchy of sin. For example, there's the unforgivable sin, which is to blaspheme the Holy Spirit, right? There's a hierarchy of sin.
Jesus fucking Christ.
But, yeah, I don't know. I don't think. I mean, I know
The
that the church
I just committed the
affirming same-sex
unforgivable sin,
relationships
guys. I'm never
is
going to
not
heaven now.
operating in accordance with what the
It's been
word says.
decided.
there's many churches that do.
done.
And those are the
Okay,
churches
cool
I agree
story.
with.
So,
Eternal
Flan Life, I forgot to give you
damnation.
the air horn here, but thank you for the 20 gifted, man, and thank you for all our new members. Appreciate it. Okay, so first thing, I kind of scuffed. Well, that's fine. So first thing first, what is a pick me?
Tay,
Tay is a pick me.
the one that sat right there. Yeah, that light skin girl.
Sure.
Ultimate pick me definition. If you look up on Webster, her face will pop up probably.
Sure. But what is a pick? What does that mean to be a pick me?
A
You
woman
seek
that
for
seeks
attention.
validation. I'm called a pick me.
Are you
every
a pick
day.
me? Are you a pick me?
I don't believe that I'm a pick me now.
But they call you a pick me.
I don't do things to attract male validation. I just
You and your
Attract
boyfriend.
it.
It's just
do.
Yeah, I
I
can
don't
see.
intentionally do things that are like males are gonna love me today.
Yeah, you got
Um,
together with your boyfriend before you built this brand that's geared towards men, correct?
It's a complicated story. Do you want to hear the quick version?
Sure.
So we dated a couple years back, and I made a video making fun of his apartment, and it went viral.
Why would you
And,
do that?
Then we broke up because he was moving, and I didn't see myself leaving New Jersey. And I continued with social media, and he doesn't have social media, so he didn't know. And then when we got
That's
back together about a year ago,
Awful.
he found out that I continued doing this and giving men's dating advice. And over the past year, he helped me build the brand. And he is, I always say, the brains behind my whole operation. He just started his own page.
All
It's
right,
DM'd
well-
me.
Wait, so hold on. A male is the brains
I
behind
would
your
say
operation?
I would say he's I have to credit him with a lot of it. Yes, he helps with the
It's a man's
financial
world.
side. I mean, I need him for the financial side.
Hmm.
I definitely write a lot of my own content.
Here, I'll turn the
but
volume up
he
a little bit.
always- We collaborate. We talk it over.
Oh shit.
I'm
Let me turn
inspired
it
by a
down.
lot of the things that he says, and a lot of it. I think, especially, I used to give a lot more dating advice. Now I think I scooted more towards relationships, and I learned
What-
a lot about
Oh, go ahead.
like dating, like as in like flirting tips, how
Okay.
to secure the date.
Right. I was going to ask
Now
you
I
what the
give
difference is.
More
But okay.
like healthy relationship because I see it. I learned. You talked about submission. I think a lot of women view that word as an icky term, and once you,
What do you think about it?
I think it's great.
Why?
I've never felt more secure in my life, and
You feel like submitting to your boyfriend helps you feel that security?
yeah, it also
How does
makes
she
me feel very
define
feminine.
submission?
I've never been so in touch with my femininity. I think I used to have to be. I think when you're on your own,
I'm
it
playing
kinda
with
makes you like an
slime.
alpha female
Listen.
sometimes like I don't need no man.
For people who are new, I have a variety of slime with which to occupy. I have my knitting here too. I might knit at some point. I'm just not feeling knitting right now. I'm feeling slime right now. I have a variety of. This is a slime that I mixed 2 different slimes together, and it feels like Play-Doh. But then I have other slimes. I have a glimmer slime. I have a red slime. I have all sorts of slimes with which to occupy myself. That's what I'm playing with. It's just I'm sliming, okay? Slime is the best.
Man,
You want me to do the glimmer slime?
but I think
All right.
every woman needs a man.
Let's go.
Based.
Yeah.
So based. Why do you feel like submission
That's what I
helps you
wanted to
feel
show.
more feminine?
Because
You don't have to be the alpha female.
yeah, I don't have to be the one that's. I know that if my finances crashed tomorrow, the house is under control, everything's stable. He provides the stability, and I can fall into my feminine side. I can do more things that I enjoy rather than stress myself out and climb the corporate ladder.
I don't need to get a
Make
job.
dinner at night and provide the feminine touch. To
It
the
is.
household.
It is deeply
And focus on
satisfying,
being a
and it
great
has
mother instead of
like
climbing
the
corporate
sound
ladder.
stuff.
What do you
like
guys think
nice
about the concept
noises.
of submission?
I submit to my boyfriend definitely.
Okay.
And
Deeply
but it's-
satisfying.
I believe in submission. I like it. Like how yes, you can intact be more intact with your feminine side, but I just appreciate how even if he doesn't care, my opinion's still asked. You know what I mean? Like even if it's his ultimate decision, it's still a conversation is the thing that I like, just so I'm aware of what's going on. And like I believe with certain things like finances, like yeah, that might be more on their side. But like if I'm staying at home with the kids, I might know a little bit better what might be better for them when it comes to like school time or things like that. So I would hope I have some type of say.
Completely agreed. I feel like I'm very submissive to my boyfriend as well.
Hold on, just some feedback. Both of you need to speak louder. Can you try to project your
Louder?
voices a bit?
Can they do like a training before this
So,
podcast
okay, you're
starts to
very
teach
submissive
these
to your
women how to use the
boyfriends.
microphone?
What
I just
about
don't know
you?
why this is this hard.
Or do you wear the
Um,
pants in the relationship or the blouse?
It's very fresh.
It's fresh.
It's a fresh
You guys have been seeing each other
relationship.
for like 6 months,
Are
right?
you saying
No,
that you guys are
they've
still
known each
figuring
other
out
for 6 months.
You're still figuring out your dynamic?
Yeah, I would say so.
Do you wear the pants?
No,
The
no, I
jeans?
wouldn't
No,
say
she does
so,
not wear the
but
pants,
Slacks?
obviously.
I think it's very equal.
It's
I'm not
equal.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I may interject, I think I have a strong personality. I just know that off the get-go, but I also really enjoy being feminine and girly and like being the girl in the relationship. And I think a lot of women like myself run into this issue where if a guy is weak, we could smell it on you from a mile away.
True.
And if you're going to be a weak man, we will dominate you, not intentionally, but in just like,
True.
this man's not doing anything. He's not leading me. Like I have to
it's
step
not
up and wear the
sexy.
pants. And that is the worst dynamic for relationships. It just creates so many issues.
It creates a lot of resentment.
Yes. And I think submission is fun for girls in the sense of like, I don't love making a bajillion decisions all the time. I want to have somebody that I can trust to lead me with a decision that's going to be the most beneficial for me, for him, for my relationship with God and my future children and everything of the sort. And then I could just focus on like, what new recipe do I want to try? Or like, what new hobby do I want to take on? Things that are, I think girls care more about those things than guys at large.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Do you find it challenging to be submissive towards most guys?
It depends on the personality, but like these beta males, like I would never let you lead me. Like, are you kidding? You can barely take care of yourself. But when it comes to an alpha male, like you can smell it on them. You're like, okay, yes, sir. And you know, it's pretty easy to submit to a man who knows how to be, like you were saying, worthy of submission. And a lot of these men call for women to submit to them and just listen to them without being anywhere near worthy.
Right.
And that's a big disconnect, I think, of people.
I completely agree with
icky
that.
The term submissive.
I completely agree with that. It's like all of these like little incels on Cozy who talk all the time about how like, you know, they're the men and they don't want to listen to the women and and women should do this and women should do that and women should shut the fuck up. Well, you know what? And this isn't just true of incels, but it's like men, nothing is preventing you from stepping up and being the leader. If you want women to submit to you, then step up and be the leader. And I promise you, if you do that and you act like a man, not a whiny little bitch who's always complaining about how men are the victim of women, because if you're on the internet complaining about how men are the victim of women, you are not doing what I'm saying, because a real man would not be on the internet bitching and moaning about how men are the victim of women. Just step up and do it. And if you're not going to do it, then stop whining, because the whining is so unattractive. It is so unattractive. And you don't need to be a Chad in order to do this. You just have to have that energy. Like if you want to go to the gym and you want to work out, you know, fine. But you just have to have that energy. You have to have that vibe. And you can be as tiny as like the incels are and have that vibe. But most of them just want to whine and complain.
Like, if there's a great guy, you'd be happy to have him lead you. No one wants a crappy guy leading them.
That's why like people will say when they find out I'm in a relationship, like, oh, he must be such a beta. He must be a simp. Da, da, da. And I'm like, if you use your brain at all and look at me and the woman I am, you really think I could be with somebody like that? No, it's not going to work out.
Well, I think
I'm going to step all over them.
I think the thing with women who are lean more masculine, no offense.
That's the
No
thing.
offense.
You guys on this podcast would say that, but
But-
then to other people, like, because I have tattoos, things like that.
No,
it's
just
about,
your demeanor.
He's
yeah,
a
but
he is a
masculine.
when
beta.
do you know me
That
outside
guy
of
is
the
a
podcast?
beta.
I'm sit up here to debate. You want me to
Sure,
sit here and
okay.
quiet
He
and
is
not say
absolutely
anything?
a beta.
That's the point of what I'm on
Beta
is to prove
cup.
my opinion and to speak my
Yeah.
voice. Do you think this is how my conversations are with my boyfriend?
Well,
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, and I've said as much in previous appearances that obviously you've been invited onto a podcast where we are engaging in debate. So I suspect that how you or how someone else who's invited on this podcast conducts themselves is going to differ than how they are one-on-one in an intimate setting with a partner. However, I mean, you can get some degree of a read on somebody even in this sort of environment. And I mean, do you disagree that you're a bit more masculine? Not masculine in appearance, but just
okay.
No,
your
Brian,
demeanor.
you're
No,
just
not.
very feminine.
But I mean, I could see that, but
Yeah.
outside of this room, no, I don't think anyone
Oh, true.
would. No.
You don't think anybody would describe you as having masculine energy
If you,
outside of this room?
my actual
Yep.
friends that I speak to, not just on a basis of this,
Mhm.
I don't think so. I'm honestly very, very submissive. Honestly, I have too much empathy for so many people to really be more masculine or anything, especially like teaching children. Like I knock off a lot of the feminine boxes, except for the fact that I can use my own voice. But like me and my boyfriend are very differing opinions. Like you guys would probably agree on most things more than me and him would.
Does the
But
trans
we don't
girl
sit
ever
up here and
talk?
argue all day and night about it. He says his point, and I just say, okay.
Do your values align?
Overall, yes.
Wait, do you get into arguments with your? Have you ever had an argument with your boyfriend so far? Because like it's one
No,
thing.
he made me mad once.
But-
I think we've made each other mad once, but we never got
Only
into an
one time?
argument.
But
No,
because
it's kinda new
this is
still.
how I
I'm gonna
sometimes
start
see
playing
this
hill
play out.
climb
is
racing
a woman who
while I watch this.
leans a bit more
Hill climb
masculine.
racing 2 to be
If things are
specific.
good, then it's fine. But like if there's ever a disagreement or a fight, it's gonna be a little.
We disagree on a lot of
heated, like-
things. He's a lot. I just got back into Christianity. He's more conservative Christian, value based than I am. So we don't agree on a lot of things. Like a lot of things I say on this podcast, he'd be like, "You're so wrong when you said that," and I'd be like, "Hey," "Hey, bro," But like we agree to disagree, and we know how to respect each other's opinions. And I'm not gonna just sit there and force him to agree with me on
Well,
something.
do you consider yourself more liberal, right?
I would say I'm very in the middle.
Very in the middle.
I mean, maybe a little bit left, more liberal leaning, but I mean,
A
I'm
little
pro
bit?
Second Amendment. Like
Let's go.
yeah, like I'm not saying I think there needs to be more regulations on what's going on.
Uh-oh.
I think in some areas we do need. I don't even want to get into this. I have.
Does anyone else
liberal-
play this hill
I have
climb
liberal
racing?
opinions. I have
Like the best
conservative
game
opinions because,
ever.
in my opinion,
Far
based
more
off of what
interesting
I've
than the
read off
whatever
Bible, some
podcast
things
is
are
hill
more
climb
conservative,
racing.
and some things technically would be a little bit more liberal leaning. So that's what I'm trying to learn more off and base more of my opinions off of.
I feel like the word masculine is being used in place of the word like risque or aggressive, perhaps. I could
I
definitely see
don't
that a little
agree
bit more.
with
Like people have
that.
just sometimes more aggressive personalities.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily a bad or a good thing. People
Disagree.
being too weak can be a bad thing too.
Mhm.
So I feel like that
Hill
is a better way
climb
to describe what they're trying to say
racing
than
too.
necessarily masculine. Because while I do believe like everyone can lean into like their more feminine side. Like I hate when a guy is super effeminate. I always say like he's too feminine for me. But I truly don't believe that like a woman could ever embody the masculine side, no matter how hard they tried. And that's why
Oh.
I'm very much against
She lacks
those ideas
self-awareness.
that like
How
men and
cute is
women can
that?
change themselves, because I think it's innate. And
Completely
even
lack of self-awareness.
whatever, any girl that wants to be super, try to be masculine or whatever, they're still a girl. They're still gonna not equal to a man
Yeah.
in that sense of personality.
Like I might come off as super, like my biggest problem my last job as being a manager is I wasn't assertive enough. I would let people walk all over me. I wasn't putting my foot
Identifier.
down with a lot of things. That's what was the big issue. And if I had a masculine side to me, I don't think I would have had that problem.
Okay, let's go back to the pick me thing. Do you have any thoughts on what a pick me is?
I don't know. It's just
In-
like
into the
Into the
mic.
microphone.
Into the mic.
if I'm being honest, like a pick me is, I mean, 9 times out of 10 a girl. Who's basically
Can a guy
just,
be? Yeah, can a guy be a pick
I
me?
mean,
Yes.
we've seen it. We've seen it.
Maybe if he's like
Ew,
an
it's-
ultra
Oh,
simp.
like
For
a
sure.
feminist?
No, it's
Honestly,
the
like,
male
when it
feminist.
comes
Simp.
down to like the beta or like the guys who don't have
Yeah.
like that, you know, just
The
I call
oomph.
the BDE to him
I
is the word, like
The
the,
what?
BDE.
BDE.
Oh,
The manliness. I always say a manly
I'm
man.
not-
hold
Yeah,
on,
I'm
hold on.
It's like the guys who normally don't have like, you know, that energy. There, it's like the
I have
the alpha
heard pick
energy
me
is the
before,
other word.
Trendalyn. I
Yeah.
have.
You know, that are the pygmies, and we've seen it. Like,
I think a lot of nice guys are pick-me's because they need a lot of validation. They need a lot of female validation.
Well,
I
think,
feel like a male pick me would make a
well.
video that's like when she's on her period and I just want to bring her chocolate and massage her feet.
do
Please,
men
pick
really
me.
think that?
I've never touched a woman, please.
I feel like all the dudes that like aggressively support like abortion and like feminism, I feel like they're all pick me's.
Me
Especially
too.
on like social media and
100%.
stuff. It's
All
like
I see with that is like I want to have sex with a girl and not be responsible at all. And I'm very pro-life, and I think a huge part is holding men and women accountable for their decisions to bring a life into this world.
yes.
So if we're gonna just let the guy get off the hook so easily, that's not fair to women. Then
What do you mean by let a guy get off the hook?
like these guys that are advocating for abortion, I think abortion only benefits men in the sense
How?
of that a man can have, if abortion's totally legal in a state, I don't think a man is going to take as many precautions to protect himself from creating a life. I think it incentivizes people to use abortion as a form of birth control rather than take the necessary steps
Oh, she's gonna
beforehand.
be a good little
And I just don't
conservative
see how men-
influencer, isn't she?
How anything, why would a
She's
man
got
support
all the
abortion? Why?
conservative
the
talking
only
points.
two kinds of guys that I've ever seen support abortion are the ultra simps that are like
Yes.
yeah, I support feminism, like Biden and all that kind of stuff.
The
The ultra
pick-me's.
simps and the dudes that are running through chicks and they want that like escape hatch.
I
It's the
definitely
only kind
see
of
that
guys.
side, but I just when you speak like that, it makes it seem like obviously yes, abortion is I guess a form of birth control in the end, but it's not. It's not like, oh, either I can get this IUD or just keep getting abortions. Like obviously you've probably never had to have an abortion, right? Since you're pro-life. An abortion is not just a simple let me just walk in and oh, baby gone. It's a very
Brutal procedure.
yes, it's not
I
but
definitely
I'm
agree
not
with
saying there's
that.
not women who have had multiple or things like that. And there is definitely women out there using it as birth control, but that is a small minority of the people. Don't just make it seem like, yeah, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I can just get an abortion if I don't want to have a kid. Like maybe there's a few, small
I
percent of women
already
out there like
need
that.
another beer.
but
I'm
most of
already
the
off beer,
time,
too.
a lot of women I know who've had abortions were honestly, a lot of them kind of sometimes were being safe. Some of them were being idiots. They're like, oh, pull out method, blah, blah,
How
blah,
many
bullshit.
people do you know that have? I don't know a single person.
I don't either.
Yeah, I know.
That have had
Quite a few.
abortions.
Yeah.
Do you consider
few.
Plan B an abortion?
No.
No,
You
that's
don't
not.
consider Plan B to be an abortion?
It's
No.
that's no
I don't
proof
think
or
that's
not.
Literally
You had
not.
it.
It's a
It's
fucking-
You
too
don't think that's
early
an abortion,
Oh
on.
Brian?
my god.
No, because I don't think there was a conception.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's usually when
It
the
kills
sperm
conception.
touches the egg.
It's
is-
the next. It's the very. You have to take it within 72 hours.
The sperm
There's
has already reached
no-
the egg.
For Plan B?
That's
I
conception.
believe so.
Because there
Yeah.
would be nothing to kill if it didn't fertilize
No,
it.
but
It's
basically,
blocking. It's not
okay,
killing.
so
It's blocking it from
in
happening.
order for
It blocks it
conception
from-
to
Yes.
occur, the sperm
Yes.
has
That's not
to
correct.
get. Hold on, guys. In order for there to be a conception, the sperm must swim and make contact with the egg.
The
What
conservatives
happened-
are
if you
literally
take
against
Plan
Plan
B,
B. Are you kidding me?
It does. The sperm has not yet hit the egg.
The egg
It's
is
not an
not
abortion.
fertilized.
It's not an
I don't
abortion.
think. I don't think
That's
it
not
takes.
true.
It doesn't take
fertilized.
72.
You can take it for up to 72, but
you
I
can
don't
take
know.
it for up to 72. But if you took it 72
The
hours
egg
later,
is
the
not
there's a likely chance
fertilized,
that
for
the sperm has
fuck's
already
sake.
reached the egg within 72 hours.
Well,
I
that's why
believe.
girls
So maybe
take
it's
it
a
like
wild.
the
I
it's
have
only-
no. I
maybe
saw
it's
on
not
the
a fact.
Check
Kardashians.
it.
I think Kendall Jenner
This-
taught me this on the Kardashians that
That's a great
sperm
source.
can live in your body for like 3 days
It can,
before it
yeah.
impregnates
5 days.
you. So that makes sense. That
Yeah,
If there's
it's-
no
Maybe-
I don't know. I'm not a
conception.
biologist.
It's 5 days, and the 72 hours is actually just the 96% effectiveness. So that's why they want you to take it within 72
Okay.
hours, but you can take it within 7 days, but the efficacy goes down.
I don't like this guy.
significantly
This guy's
because
awful.
Conception has occurred at that point. So a lot of women, when they take Plan B, they like shed their, it forcefully sheds your uterine lining so that you're aborting.
So you have a
whatever
period.
Conception occurred. And
You
a
have a
lot of women
period.
report the fact that they have like clumpy
Bullshit,
periods. And they have
bro.
like
Bullshit.
something
Bullshit.
bigger come
Yo.
out of them.
So there's a
No.
possibility
Yo.
that the sperm.
Yo, tell me that guy knows nothing about how periods work without telling me that guy has no idea how periods work. I do love it when men involve themselves in these conversations. Like, and maybe some men do know what they're talking about, but you're telling me that someone who took Plan B within 24 hours of having sex is going to experience these massive clumps being no, honey, no. And maybe you should have a conversation with a woman sometime about how like normal periods work. Oh, yo.
Sperm did
Yes.
reach the egg.
Okay,
I'm
but
not just making this up.
I know
After-
you're
You are,
it's
you are,
okay,
in
but
fact.
I know people
You
who literally
are.
used to pop.
You are, in
sadly,
fact,
I don't
just
agree with it. They
making
used to
this
pop
up.
Plan Bs like candy. I've never had a single friend say they bled after. I've taken Plan Bs. I've
I think
never
you can
bled
only
after.
take it
You've
3
never had a
times
single
a year.
friend. You've never had a single friend say that they bled after Plan B.
No.
Never. That never
That's the
happened.
process of which
It's
the
preventing
No.
that from happening. I've
No,
taken
honey.
probably 3 Plan Bs in my life.
No.
I've never bled once from it, and I never had a worse period after.
I was gonna say everyone. I haven't heard the bleeding because I don't know that many people that take Plan
That's a-
B. But in college, I know that
abortion.
people.
It might be possible, bro, that they took the Plan B and that then like and then had their fucking period. Like
That's an abortion pill.
horrific.
That's an abortion
periods
pill,
following
not
Plan
a
B,
candy.
and you can only take it like 3 times a year or something like that.
Take what?
Plan B. You
Yeah.
can't just pop
For it
that
to
like
be
it's candy.
you
for-
can
yeah.
in fact
Yeah,
it's
it's
And then it
just
can
high
affect.
dose.
You really
yeah, and it
shouldn't.
can affect. I'm sure it can affect fertility or
It
something
does.
of the sort.
You're not supposed to take it. You're
Any
honestly not supposed to take it more
hormonal
than like
situ-
3 times in your life.
Exactly. I
honestly.
think that's what it
But people
was.
played with fire
Whoops.
with it, and also every time like people try to get pregnant for a long time. It's not just you get sorry for my language, you get nutted in once and you're pregnant. A lot of the time, the Plan B isn't even preventing anything from happening. A lot of
That's
the
a
time,
huge
you weren't
thing
even
that-
like
Yep.
you weren't even going to get pregnant. It's just a cautionary.
right,
act.
and that's because of like the cycle, the menstrual cycle, right? You can only get pregnant when you're
Like
ovulating.
2 days out of the month. Yeah.
Right.
think
And
it's
so
like
that's
fi-
and
it's
so
like 5
the
days.
stories,
yeah.
I'm not making this up. The stories that
That's
I've
the
heard
window.
about
Yeah.
are when
The
women
window's
take
2 days.
it and during ovulation and there was conception, like there was actual fertilization
No.
occurred.
No,
And
honey.
they took it and then
No.
it either caused them to have an irregular
How-
period or it caused them to
How fast does he think babies grow in the stomach? Because you take a Plan B within a day or 2 of having sex. How fast do you think babies grow in the stomach? To be able to what he's talking about is the abortion pill. That what he is saying is true of the abortion pill. But it's not true of Plan B, but he's got them mixed up because he's a good little conservative, and conservatives think that Plan B and the abortion pill are the same thing when they're not the same thing at all. And I would know because I went on a self-managed abortion tour at the Socialist Reproductive Justice Conference. I learned all about the abortion pill and how you're going to bleed clumps of stuff into the toilet, and that you have to have a nice cup of tea when you're doing it, and you have to have an abortion doula because it makes it so much nicer. So this guy is confusing the abortion pill with Plan B. He's a UFC fighter, not the brightest crayon in the box. We can only expect so much from these people.
bleed out something that was a lot like something that was different. I
Could have
feel
blood
uncomfortable
clots.
talking about this because I've never had a period.
Okay,
But
so as,
just from
as
what
far
I've
as the Plan B thing,
understood.
it's I would have to look into it further. It's plausible that it could be an abortion if conception occurred. However, for example, you can have sex and then 5 minutes after you have sex, take a Plan B pill. Conception has not occurred 5 minutes after you've had sex with somebody.
Exactly.
That would not be an abortion, but it's plausible it could be an abortion.
If you took
If you wait
Plan
long
B 5
enough.
minutes after you like had sex with somebody, is there a chance that the Plan B won't work?
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
It's pretty effective, is my understanding.
For the
Not
most
that
part,
I
it's
would
effective.
have
That's why
any knowledge
That's
of.
why it's Plan B, and you can only take it within a certain days because it's not going to force an abortion. If you take it after that time frame, like you're not going to just take it and now you're going to have an
That's
abortion
not
or
true.
have a miscarriage.
So one of my friends recently told me a story that his buddy got his girlfriend pregnant, And like several weeks after the fact, he mixed a bunch of Plan B into her pancakes, and she like
That's a yikes.
yeah, and like
And a crime.
Oh,
basically
fuck that
killed her
asshole.
baby.
Okay, I said
Like,
taking a
What the
plan B versus
hell?
mixing a bunch of plan Bs together. I'm sure you could feed a
obviously
woman a
they're-
lot of
obviously they're
things that would give
different
her a
things. Obviously they're
miscarriage.
different things, but I'm saying like it can still be effective.
I know, but
Why
there's a
not?
lot
sending
of
him to
things that
jail.
you could
Yeah, he
even
needs
you
to go
could
to jail. It's
I'm
like-
calling the
Wow.
FBI.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have a
You
hate
could
crime
literally-
to report.
messed up.
you could drink
So
a bunch of
messed up.
vitamin C and force yourself an abortion, but it's not because it's the plan B that's going to give you it.
Wait, you can get an abortion from a bunch of vitamins.
There's
C?
many ways to
Pineapple stuff.
Yeah, there's
That
many
was like
ways to
a-
stop.
I think I learned that from American
pregnancy.
Horror Story. I don't know. It's icky.
Who was the first person to figure out that you could take a bunch of vitamin C?
Who was
Probably
the first person?
Honestly, it was
whores.
probably on
Milk a cow, I
accident,
don't
which is
know.
very,
No,
very
it's
sad.
I was like, let me pull these
prostitutes.
udders. Let me drink that. I
No,
don't
it was
Prostitutes.
probably because somebody.
know. Some dude with a fetish for sure.
I'm listening.
I was saying probably somebody
Okay,
was
let's,
obsessed with orange juice or
all right, well,
something and accidentally had a miscarriage when they didn't want
Good
to.
said.
That's probably how we found that out.
True.
I'm so sad.
I did not. Okay, we're
But we
gonna
don't think about those things.
move on
Plan B pancakes.
from that topic.
So messed
So
up. So evil.
Yeah, what about ectopic pregnancy? What do you feel about that?
no,
Should we hit some
yo,
super chats?
we're gonna
About
move
what?
on. We're moving on from that. Start that, Eric. Okay, so Alexandra, thanks for the membership. Appreciate it. All right, Prometheus Venom, thank you for the 100. By the way, guys, get your super chats in. 100 and up for the super chats. 200 and up triggers TTS.
All right.
Prometheus Venom is
Fast forwarding a little bit.
So high that you don't ovulate and you don't drop an egg.
Based. Yeah. So Deborah knows what
Educated.
she's talking about.
College.
All right.
You learn some things there.
all right. Moving on. Did you guys have a sense of what a pick me is? Do you want to weigh in?
Someone who seeks attention. I don't even think it's like if a you could say a girl is a pick me. I think a girl can be a pick me towards men and women. Honestly,
Yeah, I agree.
What's a girl who's a pick me towards women? What does that look like?
just trying to be better than a woman. I feel
Trying to be better than
better
women?
than other women.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, we have one more super chat here. Justin Reyes, thank you for the 100, man. Appreciate it. Brian, I appreciate your content a little more than F and F. Chase, calm down the religion. Kiko, I may disagree with you 99% of the time, but respect. You stand up for yourself. Ladies, what turns you off on from men physically? Before we read that, did you want to weigh in on what a pick-me is?
I would just say it's a girl who like seeks a lot of attention from men and goes out of their way to do that.
Okay.
But I agree with Madison. I think it can be with a woman in other group of large women where they're just trying to be like the center of attention for like a male to notice.
Mm.
And they like make it their personality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
clarify this for all the boys out there. All right, for the young guns, a woman who is a pick me is a woman who will intentionally espouse values that she thinks a guy she wants is going to like.
Like
right?
that
So you've
conservative
got-
influencer.
You've got this phenomenon with all the chicks that claim to be trad, but they're still getting their backs blown out by chads when they go to parties, right? Like these are women who claim to embody certain values just so that they can get your attention, but they don't actually embody
Natasha.
those values. Yes. Yes.
That's
Watch
why I
out for
said-
those chicks. Watch out for those chicks, bros.
That's why I called Tay a pick me, because like what from them speaking so
That's
far, I
good
could
advice,
tell like
but I
this
would
is
say
just their
he's
true
doing the
beliefs.
same
This is what they
thing.
believe
I don't believe
and what they
he's,
stand
like,
for, and that's
conservative.
fine. That's who you are. But with her, you could just see right through her act. Especially just if you call me masculine, like that's a true masculine woman right there. And everything that she was saying was about how you need to be submissive and this, that, and a third. I'm like, you're literally a contradiction of your whole thing. So I don't know if it's for views or what she's trying to do, but she's
Tay is or her?
no Tay. I'm
No,
not
we're
saying
boys.
that at all.
We're girls.
Yeah.
Boys?
Tay, I'm talking about
Not
Tay.
only on the weekends.
You could just see right through. It's like a facade that she thinks that's what's going to get her like an Andrew Tate or something. She has to act that way.
An
She has to
Andrew
shit on
Tate?
herself and
Do
her own
women want
appearance
Andrew Tate?
in order to make men
Not
like her.
cool, man.
To your credit, you're not wrong. Tay, I don't know if she's a pick me, but she's definitely pretty masculine.
She's very masculine,
She's
and
very
she tries to act like she doesn't care about certain things when she does. Like she's like, "Oh, I don't care about this stuff." When you're sitting here doing your sorority pose and all that, like, sorry,
Aw.
like, yeah, it's like be for real, yeah. Like you're.
But she's the homie. She's the homie.
No, I really don't like
Well,
her. I
not
think,
for you, for me.
Yeah, that's
we're
fine.
Good. We're
I
on
think
good-
she's
we're on
honestly a
good
terrible
terms,
person.
But Tay, you're a strong woman. Let's
She was
say
sitting up
that.
here saying,
you're a strong woman.
Obviously, tattoos are so ugly and this and that when she has face tattoos.
What?
Like, be so for real, girl.
What, she got a teardrop?
Like she has some on her like eyebrow,
You're next.
eyebrow, neck.
Watch
hand,
out, you're next.
And then talking shit about my.
Was
I'm
that,
like,
was that the
Yeah.
Latina chick?
she was like Latin, like skin. I don't know, like Sharpie eyebrows, but saying
Oh,
I was
yeah,
wearing
yeah,
too.
yeah.
She's like, I don't believe in makeup,
Kinda-
but then she
kinda
had like
overweight.
hella makeup.
Her
on.
tattoos
Yeah,
are
it
pretty.
was
I
very
like the
weird.
tattoos
That's a
she
good
has on her arm.
example of. I have a
Let's
hard
be
time
nice
with.
to Tay. We
yeah.
should be nice to Tay, guys.
Tay, if you're
all right?
watching this, I really don't like
Roast
you.
her
She's
for
not
5
saying
minutes.
anything. Like
Well,
I
I
had
used to get all the
We should
pick me
move on.
comments back in the
I'm just
day,
sitting
and
here
I think
playing video
that
games
I was
on my
never
phone
fond
and
of it just
drinking.
because like I'd post
That's it.
conservative content, things that I truly believe in, and at that point, it's kind of like I really don't think this word is so useful in this day, but like misogynistic in a way where they're like, you don't actually believe what you believe. You only believe it because a man told you to believe it. I'm like, no, I actually believe this.
Yeah.
And they think I'm not validated. So I hated that side of it. But that one example that
I
you
don't believe
just
she
gave
actually
was really
believes what she
accurate. Like
says she believes.
girls are like, I hate makeup. I don't need makeup to look pretty. And when your friend is like glammed out next to you, they're like, wow, I wish I had as much care for my looks as you do
Right.
in front of other guys. Like just saying things to try and be like a guy's guy when they're just a nobody's person.
That's exactly
Yeah,
what she was trying to do the whole time. Like the guys, like,
Yeah, you really
like
feel
I
it.
drink,
We're
I drink
going-
beer, eat wings, and watch sports. Like
We're gonna skip further into the stream. Okay, Trendalyn, you tell me where to go. We are at 50 minutes. So would you date a Christian? Makeup is a lie. Certified. Oh, should we go to the certified baddie speaks? Is this where it starts? Where things get spicy? That seems to be promising. Let's go there. Certified baddie speaks.
You
She's in a
can't tell,
bikini,
bro.
gotta
You
tell.
you cannot tell in a bikini.
Bro,
You
if
can't tell.
it's full blown beef curtains, like
Hold
you're
on,
describing,
hold on,
bro,
hold on.
you're gonna be able to tell.
$200.31.
Hell yeah.
What is everyone's take on the
We
fat
still need to-
acceptance movement?
We still need to do a
On
fit
the
check, by the
fat
way, for Fan
acceptance
Life.
movement.
that acceptance
Um,
movement.
I think the
Being-
fat
Oh.
acceptance
What's
movement
that?
is terrible.
Body positivity.
Same.
Here, go ahead. You were about to say something.
Okay, so like I'm all for people being healthy, all about themselves. Like I said, like if that like I don't know how to say
I feel
this, but
very
like basically like
uncomfortable.
I get a lot of
Don't
shit
like
for what I
it.
wear. Like people are like, oh, you shouldn't wear that. It's for your body, blah blah blah. For me, like I don't wear this shit to like get it for attention. I do this because this is what makes me feel beautiful. This is what I'm comfortable in my
Clear
skin. Yeah, maybe I'm not supposed to wear this, but guess what? I do it for me.
Because you're a baddie.
Exactly. That's
Full
what
time.
Full-time
Certified.
certified.
Full time.
bad bitch.
Full time.
No, that's
bad
You
bitch.
never
exactly
stop.
what it is. Like, I don't give a fuck if like my fucking back roll's coming out. Yeah, maybe there's some things like, of course, I'm just cover up like my nipples in private areas, whatever. But like, no, like let's be real. Like no, like let's be real. Okay, like I'm a fucking plus size. I'm a fucking plus size trans woman living in Arizona.
Wait,
Like-
did you say you're trans?
Wait, you're
woman?
trans?
Yes, I'm trans.
I thought.
Shit.
We did not know this.
I did not
Yeah.
know that.
I'm a plus
I thought
size.
you could always tell.
Honestly,
Apparently not.
I thought that you were trans.
Period.
So,
And honestly,
but you
like-
can still be a full-time baddie.
Yeah, no, of course. And like I said, like there's a lot of shit, especially like we already get a lot of shit within our own sisterhood of trans
Jeez.
girls. A lot of the trans girls are like all about the whole Kylie, BBL, whatever. That's what I was gonna bring up too when you guys are talking about plastic surgery. Like I said, I look probably through different perspectives than you guys because you guys are cis women. Period.
Into the mic. Into
Oh,
the mic.
period. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
Love
of course.
everybody.
Of course.
But a lot of trans girls do the plastic surgery stuff just to necessarily fit in. And that's something that like me as myself, like, yeah, eventually right now I'm working on my own pace, like of getting healthy, maybe getting a little thinner, feeling better about myself. But a lot of the girls, especially the dolls, like that's what trans girls refer to themselves as, the dolls, period. They kind of do the most outrageous things to fit into the category of let's have the BBL, let's have the fake titties, let's do the brow shave, let's do all kinds of things. And 9 times out of 10, I don't even feel like, a lot of girls do it for themselves, but sometimes a lot of girls, a very small percentage, like they do it for validation of men,
Word.
you know?
Word.
But
Word.
like I said, a lot of the girls, especially like, how do I say this? A lot of the dolls do this for like themselves, obviously because they want to do it for themselves. But there's still that very small percentage of girls who do it for boys. And like, I just wish that small percentage of girls be like, nah, like you're a baddie already. If you want to go ahead and do something for yourself, BBL, titties, whatever, I'm all for it. But don't do it out of the validation for like a man. Do it for yourself.
I
Or
agree.
because of a trend.
Exactly.
That's
Or
actually
just
good
to fit into
advice.
what you
It's
think
good
that's
advice
what a
regardless of
woman
what
should
you
be.
think.
Women come-
Smashing the haram button at the suggestion of these BBLs and fake titties and stuff. Where's that haram button when you need it?
Wait, what?
Haram.
Am I misunderstanding? Hold on.
She's saying go get those BBLs.
Oh, you're saying
and
go
fake
get them.
titties.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
If
if
it
you're
makes you
all
feel good,
for
she's
it,
saying-
if you're all for it, then do it. trans
Oh.
or not trans, whatever.
She's
She's saying
saying
if you're doing it for yourself,
Yeah,
and not
you're
for
doing it for
others.
yourself.
Yourself. Like, do it because it's like
I miss-
I want to walk around with a fat ass every day,
Come on,
and
Brian.
Who
I
gets-
love the way that I look.
Who gets big cosmetic surgeries just for themselves, though?
A lot of people
I
do.
feel like-
A lot of
I feel
people
like
do.
everybody's
A lot of
doing
people
it for
do.
like the
The
acceptance
only
of the
thing that
opposite
would be
sex.
for yourself is a
Into
breast
the mic.
reduction.
Into the mic.
Sorry, the only thing that would be for yourself is a breast reduction.
I
I
disagree though,
So-
I
because
agree.
Hold on,
Disagree.
let me just add to that. There are, I mean, plastic surgery originated to fix things like World War One soldiers from World War One who got like their face
Yeah.
deformed,
Memes, yeah.
and then like for example, women who have or had breast cancer and they had a breast removed, they might get implant to kind of balance it out where there's like an actual deformity caused by a medical condition.
Yeah, but my point is people augmenting their bodies.
It's
With-
primarily for cosmetic.
Yeah, for cosmetic
Yeah.
purposes. Oftentimes, it's to appear more attractive to the opposite sex.
Yeah.
100%.
But then there's like
100%.
those people who it's the pure better to the opposite sex. But then we all know there's a lot of people with plastic surgery who look fucking terrible.
So
They
I'll
look
just
absolutely disgusting, and
There's
they're
a whole
doing
show
it.
around it.
Yeah, and they're most of those people, they're really doing it for themselves. They don't care about what other people think because 90% of the people around them are telling them they look terrible,
Well,
and they still continue to get more and more surgeries. It's usually a mental illness. They're deluded. They have body dysmorphia, things like that.
Yeah.
But they are really doing it for themselves. They might have started out like another way, but you can't tell me that like that cat lion lady isn't doing it for herself. 'cause
Okay,
she looks
while
terrible.
we're-
hold on. You wanted to say something? Go ahead. Or did
Oh,
you
I
want to
think-
say something
I
at some
think
point?
that people absolutely do it for themselves, but it does work hand in hand with male validation. Like I feel like a lot of girls like look on Instagram and see a picture of Kylie Jenner and like, oh, I want to look like that. Like I want to have a big butt. Like I think I think it
wanna
goes
have a
both
big butt
ways.
so I can get more boys'
Yeah.
attention.
It could be that, but I feel like that's not their first thought. Like I want to do that because of
It's probably not their first thought, but they
Yeah.
intuitively know if I get this, I'm going to get more attention from boys. If
Yeah.
like boys didn't exist, they wouldn't be like, oh, I want a big
I mean,
butt.
lesbians get it
I
too.
think that could happen though. There's room for that.
Last thing. So I just want to add, a lot of you scoffed when I said I like large labia. Just saying, some of you gave me some looks. Hold on.
What?
Oh, wait, Brian,
Relax,
can, we,
Chase.
can, I, can,
Hold
I,
on.
can I say
For real?
something real quick before
One
we
sec.
say-
One sec. So women have preferences when it comes to male genitalia.
Uh-huh.
Huh? So I
Yes.
can have a preference too. Just saying, women can have preferences, men can have preferences. Sam, go ahead.
Okay, so we're talking
Or-
about like women augmenting their body for the male gaze or not for themselves. Okay, and I want to bring attention to like this guy Dylan Mulvaney. Okay,
Nope.
I want to talk about.
Nope. Sorry, dude.
We can't talk about that.
Nope.
No.
Maybe later we can talk
Well,
about that.
I just wanted to talk
That
about.
guy.
I wanted to talk about the fact that getting breast implants,
Good,
getting
I'm glad he was
BBL,
shut
doing all
down.
this, your
Why
body
can't they
isn't
talk
what
about
makes
them?
you a woman. Like you are a woman by your chromosomes.
We'll come back
But-
to that.
but
Sam, we'll talk. We can talk about that later. Okay.
Brian's stopping him from spitting facts.
Okay, I'm just saying, it doesn't, that's not what makes you a woman. A woman is when you are like warm and nurturing and when you're an alchemist and you can turn
I
a
really
man's
dislike
love
this
into
guy.
a baby, when you can turn a home or a house
He's
into a
trying
home.
so
Okay,
hard.
It's when you
Go
like
off,
there,
King.
there are not just it's not just
Go
what you
off,
look
King.
like
Chase,
physically.
are you seriously
Him,
seriously?
him talking about what a woman is?
Chase, it's my show. Okay. Please.
Go-
if
go-
if
go
I
ahead.
don't, if I'm going to direct the conversation to not talk about this right now, we can bring it up later. I have a plan for the show. Okay.
Yeah, we could stick to it.
All right.
Yeah.
He's spitting
Okay.
facts though. We should come back
Yeah,
to it later.
but if we don't, if you are not going to be
We
like
can-
a
we should come
unified
back to
front,
it. Yeah, we can.
like-
I think we should come back to it
Okay.
later though.
All
It's
right.
important.
So, okay,
Dun, dun, dun.
we do have to do a couple of chats here. We have to do the fit check for let's do the fit.
Okay, we're fast forwarding again.
Oh, we have Rippy here. Thank you for the 100. Hey everyone, good to be back again. Love supporting this platform where we can talk these topics. One question: what's everyone's thoughts on a partner who is very
Trendalyn,
much
fuck
into
you. This
Second
is
Amendment?
boring.
Say he, she owns 5+
I love you,
firearms,
Trendalyn.
date or eliminate. By the way, Flan Life, thank you for the big
But
gifted
seriously,
10 memberships, man. Really appreciate all your support tonight. Really appreciate it. So yeah, we have let me pull that back up though. So Rippy So
Question is, what's everybody's thoughts on a
date
partner who
or
is into
eliminate.
into
Rippy,
the Second
thank you.
Amendment who owns 5+ firearms? Would you guys date them, or is that a red flag?
Oh, I would
I mean,
so date them. I would date them so hard.
5+. I would have no problem Second Amendment or owning guns. That's not a problem. I don't want to date someone who's like, I'm ready for the end of the world to end so I can just, conquer with all my weapons and all that stuff. Like those people seem like a little bit of extremists to me, where I'm like what is he at? Like these get 5+, like, I don't know, AR-15 or whatever they can own legally here. I
Oh,
don't know
that
the
would be
rules.
awesome.
Yeah, like that's like, okay. But if he's like a few handguns and then a couple of bigger ones, sure, he's trying to protect the home. But if it seems like an obsession, that worries me because I've seen
There
a
are far
correlation
worse
between
things to
people
be
who are
for men to
obsessed
be
with guns in that
obsessed
way and multiple red flags.
Far
as well.
worse things for men to be obsessed with.
I would disagree
than
with that correlation, but I understand your perspective. What about you? Into the mic, please.
Honestly,
Hi, co-host.
How do we lower this?
I mean, I don't think I would care, but if it's like a weird,
You can't lower it.
like,
Are you trying to lower it?
No.
What are you trying to do?
I was,
You
but
can't
then you
lower
said,
it.
well, then I heard that,
It,
so now
it
I'm
doesn't
not.
go lower.
Thank you.
whole personality is just like a red flag. So I'm just like, whatever, bye. But I mean, if you have like 5 guns for protection, like, cool.
I think 5+ is a little excessive, but I'm gonna have to agree with what both of you guys said.
I would date. I don't mind as long as you do the right things with them.
Based.
Sorry, what was the question?
Question is, if you're talking to somebody who is into the Second Amendment, they have like 5+ firearms. Is
Yeah.
that like a green flag or a red flag?
That's a green flag.
Green flag.
Yeah, I want to be protected.
Yep.
Make it 6 and get me a pink one.
Based.
Are they going to be all 6 guns in their
I want a
hands?
gold
Like, what
one.
is
I
the
have a-
Well, I have a
warfare?
quick
Yeah.
question for everyone on the
A
panel to
rose
just
gold
answer.
one.
How, as women, when you go out and you're out at night and you're with your girls, right? Like you feel protected when you're in the group because you're in a group. But like, what do you actually have to defend yourself? Do you have pepper spray? Is everyone
Yeah.
carrying?
I don't
like
go
a
out without
pocket
my,
knife? You
my
do?
work security or my boyfriend.
I have a pepper spray.
Nice. You don't have anything?
I'm never out without usually security or my
Yeah.
boyfriend.
I would
Okay.
say that too.
But I do have a knife in my bag.
Nice.
I can't own a gun yet.
I was gonna say, what if in the off chance you just happen to be alone?
Yeah,
and
I have
you
a
needed to
knife. I
walk-
always carry my bar key, which has a very pointy end to it. So
Yeah,
I'm usually with protection.
I would just push back because there's a large audience here. I'd
Victor
push
bought
back
me
on
a
the
knife
idea
for
that it's a red
Valentine's Day
flag
one
if
year.
somebody has a lot
Very
of firearms.
romantic.
I feel like in like liberals' minds, they often correlate that with like, oh, this person might be like potentially mentally unhinged. They're like really focused on the concept of violence. Almost all of the gun owners that I know that have a lot of guns are like literally like the most responsible, squared away people I've ever met in my life, who I would trust with a firearm more than like almost anybody else I know. Right? Like they're typically very,
I don't know
very
about that. I wouldn't go
responsible,
that
sober-minded
far,
people,
but
There's definitely that side, but I think it's
which is
ignorant.
the majority. It's the majority of people.
I think it's ignorant to ignore the side of America that we've gotten to now, especially since of all these mass shootings we've had. People are now buying firearms in mass. So it's changing from that being the majority to people who feel like they need guns to protect themselves, who are starting to get a little unhinged because they are so scared of people that they're like, I need to have my gun, I need to have this. When I do agree that
actually
used
kind
to
of
be
agree
maybe
with
the
that, if
majority,
I'm honest
but
about
like
it.
even
I
since
would
the
say
last
for-
Nashville
I
one,
would
we've seen a
believe that
spike.
anonymous.
We've seen a spike in all of gun sales. We've seen people who are buying guns that are not responsible gun owners who now own multiple
I'm
guns
not
because
in
they're
favor of
scared
restricting
of,
guns in any way. I think
someone
it's always
coming
something
in
that-
and just
that-
starting this thing.
All right, we're moving on from this conversation. Eric, pull up the Twitch.
I don't like. Why is he
Do you have,
trying to censor
is there an
people?
issue with me wanting to move on the conversation? This is my show.
Yes.
No.
You're
just
saying
thought-
what? Like,
I thought it was interesting because I'm curious if anyone's actually if everyone here has actually fired.
do
a
you have an
firearm?
issue with me moving on the show?
No.
All right,
He's
so
like
let's move
the
on.
worst host I've ever seen.
Okay, let me
Like,
address
what-
the
like,
Dylan thing.
Oh, here we go.
Is it like a terms of service thing?
Matt Walsh has just been demonetized on YouTube.
Mhm.
People are getting their videos removed. They're
You said
getting
you were
copyright
demonetized
strikes.
earlier.
This is my show. So Chase, if I say, hey, we're not talking about that. This is my show. You listen to what I say and we're going to move on.
See, this is a beta
Unless
male
you're prepared to
here.
financially support me.
This is a beta male.
If I say I
That's
want
what
to
I'm
move
talking
on,
about.
we're moving on.
This is
Okay?
not appealing.
If YouTube didn't have such a hardcore stance on this, we could talk about it. But if I say we're moving on, we have to move
He's
on.
lecturing them.
This
That's-
is my show.
that's
You're
fine
a
with me.
guest on my platform. Please
Why is this
respect it.
person
fine
popular?
with
I
me,
don't
guys.
understand
That's fine with
this.
me.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say for the record, Brian, the part that I supported of what he was saying was what the positive things about femininity and what makes good womanhood. That was the part that I was loving him riffing on. But
That's fine. You can
picking up
agree
what you're
with
putting
him,
down.
but you can agree with him. But this is my show. I'm trying to protect my
That's fine.
platform.
That's fine.
And if
I
I
support
say
you
let's
in
move
that.
on, and then you start egging him on, saying no, keep going, he's going to listen to you. And he continued talking about it. So I just need to be very careful because Matt Walsh just got canceled
Thank you,
talking about
Peyton.
this
I
very
appreciate
fucking
it.
subject. Okay, it's a
Well,
dating
Matt
podcast,
Walsh got
guys.
canceled for being an asshole.
We can move on. I apologize for not listening to you immediately, Brian. It was just not something I was aware of. That demonetization was
It's fine.
on the
It's
table.
fine. We'll move on.
Who's Matt Walsh?
He's acting like a
Conservative-
scorned fucking woman.
conservative
He's like,
commentator.
the
Like,
dude is apologized. Like,
Some of
it's
you
fine.
guys are
It's fine. Just
in
move
the
on.
chat
It's
are
like he's
also criticizing
he
me. Oh,
is
free speech,
basically
guys.
a woman. Come on.
Gotta be careful. We're on YouTube. Okay.
Brian is running a business and he does need to protect it.
Let's talk about ovulation. Anyone?
Depends.
Eric, pull
where
up the
Talk
Brian-
about
Twitch.
I have an
men
idea.
pleasuring themselves and watching porn.
Depends on where
Yeah,
Brian
let's talk
wants to
about
take the
that.
conversation.
Okay.
Talk about
Let's
the
talk about
porn
the decay
addiction
of
in this
society.
country.
Hold on. Brian,
Okay.
where do you want to take it?
So, let's see. I just want to shout out, guys, go to twitch.tv/whatever. Drop us a follow if you can. And if you have an Amazon Prime sub, link it to your Twitch, and you can support the show every month for free. So we have, let's see, let me shout you guys out. Poppy, thank you for the 5 community gifted. Cap Dingle, thank you for the Prime. Oh my God, you guys are okay. Off YE, thank you for the tier 1. Sean Lunsford, thank you for the tier 1. Relentless, thank you for the Prime. VX Bart, thank you for the tier 1. German, thank you for the 5 gifted. Let's see.
Okay.
Rabbit Dog, Mikey, thank you for the tier 1. Too
We're
lit to
fast
quit.
forwarding
thank you for the
again.
Prime.
Rate
Mike
your
Hurst, thank you for
rate
the
your
Prime.
looks. Okay, rate your
Ray, I
looks.
love your content and love the fact that you've gone full
Let's
throttle
see.
in your views. I know you were a bit sheepish in the cameo you sent me last year when I inquired about Brett Cooper, but you really come into your own. Hope to one day go on a double date in Florida. Aw. Thank you, John.
All
He
right.
is true. I was very scared to talk about my views, so I was very vanilla when I first started social media.
Okay, and then we have a comment here, but I wasn't able to pull it up. Stifler asked, ask everyone to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10. So let's do that.
10.
Kiko, so okay, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
10.
Night Reagan.
Fucking 10.
A
Good
fat
for her.
fucking 10.
Good for her. Good for her. I don't even care.
I'm
Good
just
for
saying what
her.
everybody
Good
thinks
for
I'm
her.
gonna say, be like, oh yeah, she's a fucking 10.
Good for her.
Is there a
Rate
comma
yourself
somewhere
a
in
10,
that
honey.
statement?
Rate yourself a 10.
I don't
What was said was said.
Okay.
know. Yeah. I said what I said, and I meant
Listen.
what I said.
Listen,
Okay.
Period.
you can have whatever comments you want. I fucking love it. I fucking love it. I would personally much rather have I would rather talk to a person that loves themselves unconditionally, even if it's a little bit, ridiculous, than a person that hates themselves. And I think it takes, figurative and possibly literal balls to do that. So I say good for her. Whatever. Who cares?
On
I
a
would
scale
say
of 1
an
to 10.
8. 10. Answer
Were
stays
you
the same.
Were you a 10 last time?
Yeah, I was a 10 last
Okay.
time.
Billy Ray.
Um,
We should have waited till Deborah was back, but
we'll come back to her. I feel like I'm a 6.7.
Dude, why the fuck would you ever say something
Gorgeous.
like that?
Physically or overall?
Because she
Oh, I'm
wants
factoring
attention.
everything in.
Really?
Yes.
With everything factored in?
You know,
hold
if
on.
I were to rate it
Hold
based,
on. Hold on.
sorry.
$200.
Thank you, Martin.
Deborah, no long-term commitment, but we can make an agreement. You'll sign a NDA, grow your hair out a bit, convert away from Judaism. I'll coach you to speak a little less.
She's not even
and
here.
fly
Imagine her
you out
hearing this in the
private.
bathroom.
And you and my girlfriend can compete for my affections.
Yo, Marquavius, I'll
This
trigger it again
sucks.
once she's back.
Why am I
So
watching
don't worry about that.
this?
Thank you, though. Go ahead, Deborah. Or sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead,
Billy.
Deborah.
What do you feel like you could improve on
Toasty, I know
to
you
bring
ain't
you from a
talking.
6.7 to like an 8 or a 9?
I feel like my fitness is lacking.
Okay.
Okay, 1 point.
Fitness is
What's
lacking.
that?
No, my
Two.
appearance, I'm not a 10.
Fitness is
appearance-wise.
lacking?
I disagree with
Into
the
the
ratings
mic.
people
Into the
have-
mic.
I'm sorry. I disagree with the ratings people have given.
Do you know where
themselves.
the rating scale comes from? It's supposed to be if you line up 10 random men and you ask them, would you fuck her? And they were to say yes or no.
Nope.
That's originally where it came
That's
from.
not how. Nope. That's
What?
not how
Yeah, where'd
that
it come
works.
from? Tell me.
Well, no,
Where did
I'm
you rating
being-
the
I'm-
10 rating scale.
Educate me where it came from.
That's
if you
not
know,
how
if
that
you know,
works.
tell me. Tell
Just
me.
Just think about
Tell
it.
me.
Think about it intuitively. If a 10 is like a perfect woman, like absolutely maxed out attractiveness.
10 is supposed to be on physical. It's supposed to be on physical attraction
So if we're
only.
talking,
We're not
if we're
supposed to talk
talking
about
physical
personality.
attraction, yeah, if
Yes.
we're talking just physical attraction,
Yeah,
10 is
I'm
like
kind
the
of
most
feeling
attractive
officially
woman you could
retarded too. I'm
possibly
gonna do this for
imagine.
a little
It's
while
10 out
longer
of 10 for a
because,
reason because you're lining up 10 and you're counting how many points are you getting.
I feel
That's
as
why-
What do you
though
mean you're
I'm
lining up 10?
officially
What
Like,
does
you're
lining
supposed
up
to- you're
10
supposed-
really mean?
retarded.
No, I'm saying 10 men, like or opposite gender of
I
you.
don't know
mean,
why
opposite
I'm
gender of
doing
you.
this.
You're supposed to be. It's,
Trendalyn.
the point is,
You tracking with this?
Deborah, you guys.
where did it come from? Then tell me where it came from.
It's like okay, what are you like? If you're a 5, then you're like very like average.
Yes.
If you're like an 8,
Because
then
5
you're,
out
like,
of 10 people would be with you.
No, that's not what. That's
Alex
not what
is,
it
No,
I'm
It's
just-
not-
I'm
it's not
saying
how many
that-
people would be with you.
Cheers to you,
It's not how
Alex.
many people would be
Cheers
with
to
you. It's
you.
like 10 is physical perfection.
Yes, I
Wait,
understand that.
okay.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Not because 10 guys would sleep with you. Like you could have a girl who's like a 7 and 10 guys would all sleep with her. But that doesn't mean that she's a 10.
Yeah,
like, in
I
terms
didn't
of-
factor in
Thank
that
you, Flan Life.
who would sleep with me in my rating.
We're,
Yeah, no,
we're
it's
talking
not-
about off of
It's
attractiveness.
not about how many men would sleep with you.
Okay, thank you. We're talking about attractiveness.
Mhm.
You truly believe on a skill base that you're a 6.9.
She said 6.7.
6.7, yeah.
That honestly would make you a 6 in my eyes because it's your
Her-
confidence
her-
level. You're
No, but it's
you're
not.
down on
Wait,
you
yourself
just
for
looked.
no
You said
reason.
it's purely
Just
based on
looks.
physical attraction.
know.
You're saying
Great.
your humility
Eric.
brings her down.
It's a fucking
Hold
joke.
on, guys.
It was a joke.
Ad
It was a
block
joke.
is. You gotta
Thank you.
close that.
And I was talking
Yep.
to
Can
her.
the
F11.
audience still see us?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
I
No,
hate
compared
everyone.
to all of the women in
W
the
ad
world,
block in
I'm
the
rating
chat.
myself on that scale. Me compared to every
Yeah.
woman in the world.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be the
Yeah.
same if you said you're a perfect 10 that people are always going to hate. So
I think
may
it's-
as well just go
Okay,
with what
wait,
you
so-
truly believe.
Kiko, going back
you
to
know?
this whole, if you lined up 10 people and if they all wanted to sleep with you, that makes you a 10.
Okay, so they all found you attractive. I was just going.
Yeah,
off
but
of
that's a
what you-
binary. Yes or no. Are
Yeah.
they attractive? However, there's
Yes.
degrees to attractiveness.
Exactly. That's why it's supposed to be like 10 random people, like maybe from all over the world, like not just 10 people from San
That's-
Francisco or just
that-
10 people from LA. That's
I've
the way
never
to.
heard this.
Yeah, I've never heard that
Look it
either.
up.
That's not.
Okay, well, that's not what we mean.
All right, this is retarded.
Okay,
No, it's like this. It's
It's
like this. If
degrees.
the hottest possible Victoria's Secret
Math.
model, just
But it's-
physical. Hold on, just physical perfection.
I don't
is a
care about
10.
Leonardo
How might you compare
DiCaprio.
yourself to her? Do you think
10.
you think you're like the most attractive specimen that's ever walked this earth?
I wouldn't say there's.
On
There's
par.
not. Is there not people
On
who are?
par with the most attractive
Can I
specimens
answer?
that have ever walked this earth?
Can I answer?
We give you permission.
Thank you.
Let's do how old would you
Um,
go?
I mean, he's like keeps shooting things. I mean, hasn't really let me respond.
How old would you go? Let's see what they have to say about that. I'm actually mildly curious.
Why is that?
Because that's like dating my father. My father's 47.
Thank you, Trendalyn.
Well, no, but that would be incest. You're not related to Leonardo
Ha-
DiCaprio
ha-
unless
No,
there's
No,
Which
in
something
the
you
age,
wanna tell
you know what
us.
I mean. Like in the same age group.
What's
Okay,
the
th-
oldest
there's-
you would
We'll go
date?
for a little while longer. I want to skip around a little bit.
Probably-
I'm just like I'm disappointed. I thought this was going to be
22,
How
drama
old is
filled.
everyone here
Yeah,
would
I
date?
was
I'm
gonna
very
say,
curious
Let's,
about
that's
it.
a good question.
No matter
Deborah.
of fact, where's
30
everyone from?
30 to 35, 30 probably.
And you're 23? Yeah.
Wait, you had an issue with that the last time we were on the show.
I'm 23 years old. I'm not 18.
I know,
That's
but
a
you,
fact.
you,
Not
you, you were
23.
saying guys in their like 30s to mid 30s.
I
who
said
had,
30s plus.
who had interest in 18 to like 25-year-old
I
girls.
never said that.
Yeah, it was like 23, 25. That was your
I
range.
never said that.
Yes,
I
you
said
did.
I said 30 plus year old men who consistently only date 18 and 19 year olds. My whole point has always
No,
been
it
under
was early.
21.
It was early 20s as well.
It's my
It was early 20s as well.
my point
Who
has always been
cares?
under 21. I've had this
It was
belief
early
for a
20s
very
as
long
well.
time.
It was
And
early
when you
20s
tell
as
me
well.
that I misspoke what you said, I agree with you. So I'm telling you right now, maybe if there were 60, yeah, I said it's weird if she's 23,
Hey.
but 30 plus,
It was specific. Yeah,
No.
it was specifically.
I would
30
never
plus
say a
into
5-year
18 to
I
early
would
20s.
never say
my
a 5-year age gap is weird. So don't put words in my fucking
I'm
mouth.
not. We could
Okay.
pull up the footage. We could pull it up.
I just got a beautiful chat. Thank you so much.
What does it
He
say
said,
there?
one day I'm sure you're going to find your Bashert, which is in
Here, pull it up.
Judaism, like your soulmate. And Kol Kavod, good job. Am Yisrael Chai, long live Israel. And then it's like, blessings to God.
Based.
Yeah.
Okay.
God bless. I speak Hebrew.
Cars in Depth, thank you for the $100 super chat.
Toda rabba.
It is a great mitzvah for you to donate that to us. So,
So
l'chaim.
I got an interesting question to kind of reframe things for the ladies. Okay, we know your guys' answers. For you two, I know that you're committed to your boyfriend. You probably love him a lot. Imagine that you were single. Imagine Leonardo DiCaprio had this like conversion, and he was like, I'm going to be a Christian, or I'm going to be Jewish, and then he comes upon you guys, and he's like, hey, like I don't want to keep dating around anymore. I want to get married and have a family. Would you guys be open to it with a guy like Leonardo DiCaprio? No.
Well, personally, I think he's also been with too many women for me, and publicly, like that's just something I'm not a fan of. But he's also just not my type. Like I've had opportunities to date successful guys if I wanted to, but I want somebody on my level in a sense, like who makes me be better, but also my oldest. Like I have a hard time talking to a guy that's 30 or older. It just feels too old for me. I think there's a generational difference nowadays. It's not just age. There's
Definitely
we
a
have
generational
iPhones, we grew up
difference.
with iPhones. They didn't have internet. It's a lot different. They don't get it. So if he got it a little older, like a 30-year-old, but I'd cap at like 29 for me, max.
29 for you? And
Yeah.
you're 20.
I'm 23.
23. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
My grandparents were only 10 years apart.
Really quick on
Yes.
sort of related to this, you mentioned that, well, we have gotten a lot of attention from people who are notable or famous. You mentioned blue check marks in your DMs, and you gave a laundry list of different professions that these men are in. So how many blue check marks have you had in your DMs? Pull the mic closer to you, please.
Thousands.
Pull the mic.
I'm going to say thousands.
Thousands of blue check marks.
I've had my Instagram for
Must
a
be
few
nice,
years now, but I think this is
privilege.
girls. What you
Okay.
don't get it is it's not just me. It's
Yeah.
a girl could have 2,000 followers and Andrew Tate sliding in her DMs. I know girls like that
are
because guys think that they go for it. They shoot their shot. I can't blame them. Good for you. Shoot your shot. You never know.
Well,
I
I
cannot-
want to stay on the Leonardo DiCaprio
Yes.
topic for a little bit
Listen.
here, but I do want to say,
Listen. I cannot. Maybe this is just old me talking. I cannot imagine dating someone that slid into my Instagram DMs. I know it works out every now and again. And listen, I do actually have interesting conversations with men. There are more than a few, usually younger men, who have slid into my DMs in my day. And because they don't like women their age, and I talk to them because it's something to do, right? I'm not suggesting anything happens, because it really doesn't, because that's just a horrible idea to begin with. But I do talk to them. But I can't imagine actually dating someone that slides into my DMs. That just seems like a bad idea. I married the guy who was my mover. I met my husband in person. He was my mover. He picked up heavy furniture to impress me. He picked up a bureau that was filled with my clothes and carried it by himself to impress me. And I was hooked. I cannot imagine doing internet dating. Yes, I do. I console incels in my DMs. It's true. It's true. But it's interesting conversation. I slid into my husband's moving truck. Man. But you want to know why marriages fall apart? It's because of internet dating. Entirely. Meet people in person, go out into the world.
women have dating on easy mode changed my mind. Okay.
Completely agree.
What do you say? Sorry.
Women have dating on easy mode
I would disagree.
compared to men.
I
You-
see
good
your
women,
point.
hot women.
No.
I see your point, but it's like
Even average women have dating on
Yep.
easy mode.
Yeah, sevens and above.
you go your
Even-
struggle
honestly,
you're
even
saying
five.
is you struggle maybe to get a first date. Me, it's like we're scared for our lives sometimes. So it's like a very difference of things when it's like dating on easy mode. Like it's maybe if you're an ugly man, sure. My boyfriend definitely has never had a problem dating because he's an attractive man. If you're an ugly girl,
Right.
it's going to be hard for you too.
But here's the difference. Average women have an easier time dating than average men.
And whose fault is that? It's your guys' fault for
I
sleeping with
agree.
anything that has two legs.
Yes, I
Not
agree.
saying necessarily
No,
men,
no,
men,
no.
men in
Women-
general.
women-
Men in
It is the
general.
fault of
that's
the
not how it
men.
works.
That's really not how it works.
It's
Can
the
we
fault
address
of the
chat
men.
for 1 second?
What?
They're
what
all
do you-
coming after me saying 30-year-olds didn't have iPhones. I was 9 years old when the first iPhone came out. We didn't have Instagram till I was 12 years old, and I'm only 22 right now. I don't know why I said 23. I'm 22. Sorry. My birthday's May 13th. I'm literally 22 right now. I was born in 2000. But yeah, to all the
Mentally
people that are
23.
saying you're 27, you didn't have it, like, so being raised, like I had a Motorola flip phone for my first phone. Like people who grew up with Instagram, Photoshops, all these celebrities in your face, TikTok, all this pressure to be on social media.
Good to know.
Like I've been on social media since
Yeah.
5th grade.
It's
Someone
a
who was
lot.
30
It's a
wasn't on
very
social media
different-
since 5th grade.
Being raised with social media is a very different mindset and worldview than people who grew up the good old fashioned way, hanging out in the park, seeing your friends, meeting up with them. It's different mindsets, I think.
Okay, here, let me frame the question like this. Agree or disagree? Do women have dating on easy mode? Kiko, yes or no? Compared to men.
If men would just express confidence and learn how to love themselves and not seek validation from women, and to stop blaming all of their problems on women who won't sleep with them, and stop going out into the world saying, I am a poor, helpless victim because I am a man. The men who have a hard time dating, I'm going to bet you universally there's going to be a higher correlation with the men who have a hard time dating and the men who go and they say, I am a poor victim of the world because I'm a man. Because it is completely unattractive. Listen, this is just me. Maybe some of the ladies in the chat can chime in. If you give me a traditional kind of like Chad, I'm usually not that attracted to them. I'm really not. So like all this, like I see men talk about this, and especially like again, incels, they think that men need to be like a certain thing in order to be attractive and get women. I am one of those women that I don't like that type. Generally speaking, I mean, if there's like a personality to go with it and they're funny and they make me laugh, I guess, but it's not normally the type I've ever gone for. And so I really like, one of the things that drives me crazy about the internet is all these people who talk about like, this is what you have to be in order to get married. Well, no, that's not true, bro. What you need to be is someone that knows themselves, is someone that likes themselves for who they are, is someone that treats people nice, that shows up, that is just kind and empathetic to be around, that doesn't cause problems, that doesn't get jealous all the time, that doesn't get resentful, that doesn't start unnecessary arguments just to start arguments. Like, there are any number of things that you can be that are not like the traditional kind of like Chad and still find a girl and still get married. Men who can't find a woman, I'm sorry, they like there's something going on with them. Maybe they don't feel they're worthy of love. Maybe they're afraid of love. Maybe they've had some women fuck them over, and so then now they assume that all women are going to fuck them over. Guess what, guys? Men fuck over women too, but that doesn't mean that you slink back in and say, because some men fucked me over, all men are going to fuck me over. It's like, you can't hold future men responsible for what other men have done in the same way that you can't hold future women responsible for what other women have done. There are shitty people in the world. There are shitty men and there are shitty women. And if you happen to like date shitty men or shitty women, that's going to cloud your view of the opposite sex. That sucks because you're probably turning down and rejecting a lot of really good people who you'd have a really nice time with for superficial or bullshit reasons. You think it's because of capitalism, Tayton? I don't know about that.
What does dating on easy mode even mean? Like, I really
Yeah.
don't.
It
I really
means-
don't get that.
It means that you
understand-
get to select. So this is something that's like inherent to just women in dating is that they're kind of all players, and not like consciously, but because they just have so many options, right? Like there's this guy in your DMs and that guy met you yesterday, and there's this guy in the grocery store. And so you have options. Whereas men, we have to go out and create those options for ourselves. They don't just slide into our, they don't just show up into our lives.
I mean,
so
just
that's
to
what he
complain
means.
about that just sounds like very
It's not
like
complaining. It's just acknowledging a reality of the.
I'm sorry, that is such total and complete bullshit. That women don't just show up into your lives. I have seen this happen over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Where you have a man who is single, who might want to get married, might not, like whatever, maybe could go either way on it. But then a woman shows up into their life, but they're not exactly the type of women that they envision themselves being with. And I'm not saying they're like the overweight trans woman. I'm not saying they're that, but I'm saying it's like maybe they have a body count that they find unappealing, or they come from the wrong type of family, or they dress a certain way, or they have a certain politics, but you know what, you guys really get along, and maybe sometimes you can overlook things, and maybe sometimes you don't need, you know, all 25 boxes checked on your list, but maybe like if you get 20 boxes, that's actually pretty effing good, and you have a good time and you enjoy each other. But no, you can't marry her because that would be too much. It's like I've seen this happen over and over and over again, where like you have these people who you're like, why don't you just get fucking married? Because you guys love each other, you enjoy each other, you make each other laugh. Like, I'm sorry, if someone doesn't look exactly the way you want them to look, guess what? In marriage, you're both going to grow old and you're both going to gain weight. And there will be times when you are not the beacon of perfection, I promise you. But that's not what marriage is. To say that like I really do think that most men are just like, quite frankly, way too fucking picky. And I do think that most women are way too fucking picky. If you can't find someone, it's because you're being way too fucking picky. And you have these impossible standards. It's like Nick Fuentes having these standards of like, I'm gonna marry a virgin who is a Catholic, who is a conservative, who is an Italian, and has like Nick Fuentes has this massive laundry list of characteristics where he's like, if unless a person meets 100% of these characteristics, I'm not going to marry them. Well, guess what, guys? Nick Fuentes doesn't want to get married. And I like Nick. I do. I think he's funny. I think he's smart. I think he says stupid shit sometimes. But this is actually like Nick Fuentes doesn't want to get married. It is goddamn near impossible to find someone who checks 100% of the boxes on your list. But maybe you can find someone that checks like, 85% of your boxes, and sometimes that's good enough, man. And sometimes people are going to screw up and people are going to be dicks, and you have to overlook stuff you don't like, because that is what marriage is. Will we be allowed in happy hour and socialism Saturday, given we are probably all less intelligent? That yes, I do normally have an IQ requirement of at least a 100 to be in my audience, but we will waive the IQ requirement for this week. I appreciate it. All right. We're going to watch a little bit more of this, but I have to go to the little socialist room, and so I need to step away for a second, but I'm going to let it play. You guys can let me know what happens. We'll be back. We'll watch a little bit more, and then I'm wrapping this shit up cuz I can't do this for all night. Okay? I'll be right back.
World. What Sam is getting at, and by the way, I disagree with the idea that all women are like kind of players, but I understand what you're getting at. The reality that he's getting at is that women are born with their value and men have to build their value, right? If I'm some loser and I just sit at home and I'm eating like potato chips all day and I don't spend my time trying to build my value as a man, build my confidence, all of these kind of things, I'm not going to have as much success with women as I would otherwise. But an average woman who isn't working on her own personal excellence and who still has a decent level of attractiveness, even if she's just average, there's going to be tons of dudes that want to sleep with her. And average guys do not have tons of women that want to sleep with them.
They probably do. They're just trying to seek out women who are above their pay grade.
Kiko, let me tell you conclusively.
Especially in IB, I know men who are ugly as hell getting laid every night.
Because they have confidence.
Because they have Tinder.
they have Tinder,
Just be
but
for
they
real.
also have game and they have confidence. Okay.
I mean, game
The-
matters.
the-
Riz.
It does. The average guy does not have tons of women who want to sleep with him. The average guy would be
Has
lucky
none.
to have one or
Yeah.
two who want to
Mhm.
sleep with him. Okay.
I
Okay.
see your point, but it's like
The average, the point that I've made in previous podcasts, the average guy can go on Tinder and get 0 swipes. Okay. The average woman can go on Tinder and get laid 2 nights.
Kiko,
But
just
it's
think
not
about
about
it this
getting
way.
laid.
All right,
It's
I'm
not
back.
Dating, you're
Yeah.
getting laid.
You say it's
because-
'cause
I'm
guys-
back, and there's a super chat that I need to deal with. Does he not want to marry because inferiority? Nick Fuentes? I think I like Nick Fuentes. I do. I don't. This is not meant to be shade towards him, but I'm being asked a question, and so I have to tell the truth. I think that Nick does not want to get married because, in his mind, no one can ever live up to his mother. And I'm not suggesting that Nick has like fantasies about his mother. I'm not suggesting any of that. I'm just saying that I think that Nick has like put his mother as like the pinnacle of like, this is what a wife needs to be. And I think that Nick's mother probably takes really good care of Nick and does whatever Nick wants and you know, is Nick's support system. And God love her for doing it. But I think that Nick does not want to get married because it would mean that Nick needs to leave his mother. Why else hasn't he moved out yet? Nick owns a fucking building. Nick doesn't have to stay at home in his mom's basement doing his show in his mom's basement. Why hasn't Nick moved out of the house yet? He's 25 years old. It's because he doesn't want to leave his mother. Again, no shade. I like Nick, but Nick can join my harem of men. I don't know that he'd be up for that, but maybe. All right, we're going to watch a little bit more. We're going to see where this goes.
Guys are lazy.
easy.
Easy.
I
think-
which a lot more men are easier to will sleep. Men are more
Sure.
willing to sleep with people who are not on their level than women. That's your own personal
And
problem.
that's-
Don't
and-
sleep
and-
with people
and-
who are below you.
And you are proving my point. You're proving my point. Men will sleep with a lot of different women. Okay?
That sounds like a personal problem, is what
It's
I'm
not.
saying.
It's not a personal problem. It's just the reality of life. Women will not sleep with average guys. Men will sleep with average women. Is the point. And men have to build their value. It
Women
doesn't
won't
just
sleep
come
with average
naturally to them
guys?
like it does for women.
Maybe
What are you talking about? Women won't sleep with average guys? If those average guys show up and they're nice and they're sweet and they take care of that's complete. I'm sorry, that is completely wrong. Most of the women that I know prefer average guys to the Chad. Well, I agree with this too. I think Nick could absolutely get laid if Nick wanted to get laid. Nick doesn't want to get laid. Again, if he does, he needs to leave his mother. There are all sorts of ramifications. You should apologize to Big Tech. You were very mean to him.
it depends
Hold
on
on.
area.
You wanted to come in?
No,
Go
it's,
ahead.
it's just a universal law of nature.
Hold on.
Would
Go
you
ahead.
date? Would you go for an average woman though?
No.
So
Would you
that
go for an
kind
average
of-
woman? You
What
guys
do
had a lot of
what do you
standards.
mean- what do you mean by
You
average?
three have a whole
I'm not
bucket
an
of
average. I'm
standards.
not an average man. I work much harder than the average dudes
Yeah,
in my
but
age
I'm
group.
saying-
I
have
would
for a long
identify
time.
him
Like,
as an
I'm
average man. I'm
selective with
sorry.
who I date. I'm extremely selective. I always. Have
I
been.
don't
But
think he's an
just
above
because
average
I
man.
wouldn't doesn't mean that a ton of
Yeah.
other guys wouldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know a lot of guys who are very average and they don't have any problem finding women to sleep with or date or anything. It's just knowing who's
That's
on your
Ding.
level.
But
That's
is
not
finding
true.
someone to
Ding.
sleep with
Wait,
really
I
fulfilling?
would love
That's
to
what we're
hear
talking
Billy
about.
on this.
Please come
Yeah,
in.
I have across platforms probably over 800,000 followers that are all single men. That's why they follow me for dating advice. And I get thousands of messages every day from attractive
Fear 3.
guys that cannot get a date. And the messages are fucking sad. Like, it is, girls are not aware of the crisis out there that men are facing in the dating world. I don't think you guys can, I don't think you can speak on it because you don't know about it. You don't see them. It's way
let her
bigger than
finish.
you
Hold
could
on, let her
ever
finish.
imagine. You have no idea how sad it is. I cry about it when I read the messages.
So let me ask you a question. You mentioned that you have a lot of attractive guys who cannot get a date. Why would you say that is?
I think this is
You can just be honest. This is an important conversation that a lot of people can learn from.
I think the feminism movement has completely beat down men.
Okay, expand on that.
I think they are scared to speak to women.
Because of the Me Too
Agree.
stuff, or
That's a part of it, but
I
I don't
agree
think
with that.
I don't think it's a big part of it. I think their confidence is absolutely destroyed in the dating world. Women feel like I feel like the feminism movement has kind of made women not just feel equal to men, but actually superior to men. And I feel like that's the way they treat a lot of men.
do you feel like the feminism movement has convinced?
I feel like a lot of men and women have never learned that a relationship is a two-way street. And it is not about manipulating the other person or trying to like pressure the person into doing what you want them to do. It is a give and take in which both parties in the relationship need to give and take. If a man expects that a woman is going to be perfect at all times and always look perfect and always be perfect and never like have moments where they are not their best selves, and that women are just going to like totally submit to them, be like, honey, I'll do whatever you want, that is an unrealistic expectation. If women have the expectation that men are always going to be perfect and look perfect and not ever have moments where they are not their best selves, and that men are going to take care of everything and pay for everything and they don't have to do shit, like that is not an unrealistic expectation. You have to find someone in which you are a good balance for each other. You don't have to be the same. No one has to be perfect, but like you have to find someone where like you offset them. What they're good at, you might be bad at. What you're good at, they might be bad at. And you work together to form a relationship in which both of you are giving to the situation. That's what's been lost. People don't have a good understanding of what this is because they're in a rush to get married just to say that they're married, or because their biological clock is ticking and they really want to have kids, and oh my god, well he's good, he's just the one that happened to be here. They're not getting into relationships for the right reasons because no one has explained this to them, that marriage is not easy. It is hard. You're going to hate each other. You're going to fight. You're also going to love each other. You're going to be there to support each other. You have to, like, someone's got to do the dishes. Someone's got to take out the trash. Someone's got to do the laundry. Someone's got to pay the bills. Like maintaining a functional, it's like you have to split that up. No one's responsible for every single thing. And help each other and support each other and love each other and give each other the benefit of the doubt. And for the love of God, have sex. Even if you don't feel like it sometimes. I mean, I feel like I'm just talking common sense, but I also feel like this is the stuff that it just gets completely lost.
Convinced a lot of women to not appreciate men for what they bring
Yes.
to the table.
Masculinity is dead.
Because feminism causes women to become masculine and to embody the traits that they would otherwise look for in a partner. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, and that's hard for a man to even be attracted to.
Right. Because
No man wants a masculine woman.
Right. And men, you
That's
know, we
not
have a
true at
dream
all.
inside of our hearts. If you're a masculine man who's
Not
red-blooded, we have
true
a
at
dream
all.
inside of our hearts to care for a woman and protect her and provide for her and build a family with her. And a lot of women who are like deep into feminism, they're like, I don't need a man to do those
Yeah.
things for me. Do you feel like that is demoralizing a lot of men who are looking for
Oh,
partners?
absolutely. It's not giving them purpose. When a man cannot provide for his family,
men can, but
when a man is not appreciated for providing for his family, that completely.
Hey, listen, man.
in a way.
Yeah.
Listen. We do paper plates. And it's not like we don't have a dishwasher. We do have a dishwasher, but it's just like paper plates can save a marriage. I really do believe that. I'm a big fan of the paper plate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so do you feel like that is causing a lot of men to feel hopeless in the dating marketplace?
Yeah, and I also think a lot of men, I think porn plays a huge part in this. I think that a lot of men are just I think they're addicted. I think they're in their homes now more, and they don't have the social skills to speak to women. And I think, like we said, game is attractive to us. Like a lot of men don't even know how to approach women. I think it's a combination of things, and I also think that
I'm almost done,
the whole
Vince.
porn industry
I'm
is
quitting soon.
driven by a lot of women
Thanks
that
for stopping by.
feel empowered with sex.
No one forces men to watch porn.
It's a whole other topic.
If I may ask her another question, I assume you've had successes in helping men get better with women and find girlfriends, wives, so on and so forth. What would you say has been the most effective thing in your coaching of these men to help them cross that threshold?
It's honestly the conversation skills. Once a guy can land the first date, usually he's capable of taking a little bit further. It's honestly just getting the first date. I've helped people a lot with dating profiles. Their dating profiles are trash. Once a man, one of my really good friends is actually a dating app photographer. Very lucrative business.
A dating app photographer? Are you shitting me?
Yeah, it's honestly, he does amazing work.
Terrible.
But
are you kidding?
Once he completely revamps their profiles,
a dating app for yo. I am absolutely going to sleep with my husband after this just to make sure that we're never, ever, ever getting divorced, because I don't want to be single in a world where I have to rely on a dating app photographer. I need to remind my husband that he is loved and cherished and that our marriage is still alive, because I never want to have to hire a dating app photographer. Back in my day, we just put whatever random photos we wanted on the dating app, and it still didn't work out then either. That's not true. I did do internet dating for a while, and it's just like, it's a bad idea, man. It's just a bad idea. Meeting people in person is much better. Go out into the world. Go do things you like. Go meet people who are doing things that you like. Build friendships with people who are doing things that you like. Don't worry so much about landing a man. Just find people that you like and want to hang out with. Men like to do stuff. Women like to do stuff. Find people that want to do stuff together. Build relationships based off of common interests.
Because women look at a profile for a significant
First photo.
Like that's it, and they're done. They'll find the smallest ick.
So what has made the most successful dating profiles for men? What do those profiles look like?
Honestly, less of
this.
the. I'm trying to think of what. His name is Justin Harder. For anybody wondering, his work's insane. Jay Harder Photo. I'll give him one last shout out. But basically, it's making the man look more successful. That's what's leading to showcasing his life. Yeah, but not a false
lying.
Image. He'll never project them in like a false light. They'll never be on a private jet if they can't afford a private jet. Like it's not like painting a false reality. But kind of like you're not having the club photos where you're drunk with your 6 friends, and I think the gym selfies, like getting rid of those and replacing them with maybe like fitness photos, like overall fitness photos. I think a lot of guys make dating profiles, and they think they select photos that they think the boys would like.
Yeah.
They make their profiles for the boys. That's something I
Like
always
you
say.
go on, I remember when I was on dating apps, it was like most of the guys, all their pictures, there was like 6 of them in the photo. Like I could barely even tell what the dude would look like because it was either a group photo every single time or like an obscured, super far away sunset and they're just back. And it's like, yeah, I mean, like, duh.
See, I would see that and I would actually think that that's like a more authentic profile than someone that has like perfectly posed pictures and like that. Like, for me, one of the biggest red flags on a dating profile would be like, is everything too perfect? Because if everything is too perfect, you're trying to sell me something. And if I am like becoming interested in you because I want to spend the rest of my life with you, then you selling me something is not conducive to that.
Like, why would we want to swipe on that? I don't even know what you look like. So
somebody
like,
said,
you know what's funny about that though? You know what's funny about that? The whole looks thing is you often hear people say men are so superficial. Men care so much about looks. However, it seems to be the case that women care a great deal about looks and physical appearance, as is proven by what's going on dating apps.
I'm superficial as fuck.
Well, that's
when it comes
only
to it first. I want to be attracted to you.
Somebody said fake profiles get you dates, not relationships. It's not a fake profile. Good photos get you dates, and a lot of men have the conversation skills to get a relationship, but they just can't get the dates. So once they get the dates, they're good, and they can develop their conversation skills on those dates. They just need the dates.
Wait, so you think once a guy gets a date,
it's not an automatic relationship, but I think a lot of men, it's a step. Yeah, I think I think men
towards what? That girl eventually becoming a girlfriend? Because I would say in today's day and age, I would say most first dates don't lead anywhere.
Well, not just like that single
learn
first
from
date.
them, though.
Once you have a more options.
You absolutely learn from them.
Yeah.
Though.
I think it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, which is that a man's personality really adds to his attractiveness for women. So when they're on the apps and only the apps, they don't really get to feel his energy. And that's always been my issue with like using the apps is like, I have high energy. I have the like.
You do not have high energy, bro. I'm sorry.
You got the sauce, Sam.
Yeah, like when a guy has the sauce,
I'm sorry.
Like women can't really feel that. And you can't even really feel that over text.
No, honey.
Because you can't hear the tonality of his voice. You can't look into his eyes. And so my advice to any guys that are struggling on the apps would to be grow some balls and go and look confused in Trader Joe's. Because that's where you're gonna find. That's where you're actually gonna find a girl that's worth
good
dating.
Advice.
Because if you leave it up to the apps, all they can look at is your shitty photos that your friends took of you from 2016.
Thank you for bringing that up.
And ladies, go to Home Depot.
I think there's a lot of success.
I've seen those memes. I'm like,
Home Depot is where you find a father.
Okay, so
I'm looking for screws. I'm in the light bulb.
Can I ask you a question?
Hold on, Kiko. I wanted to let you guys come in a little bit here. Your take.
What's the
The question is,
if they don't want to speak,
do women have dating on easy mode as compared to men? Agree?
I don't care that Trader Joe's is a socialist hell. Trader Joe's has some things that are like really, really good. And you can only get them at Trader Joe's. And it's better than Whole Foods. I mean, but there's nothing more fun than wearing like a real Marxism shirt through Whole Foods or through Trader Joe's. Because you just get to piss everyone off. I mean, you should get like the mushroom ravioli that they have because it's really, really, really good. And the chicken that's marinated in the balsamic vinegar, that's also really, really good.
Agree or disagree?
I feel like I don't have enough experience to respond to this, but
Here, let me ask a clarifying question. Who has an easier time getting laid, men or women?
Women.
That should be.
I would say women.
Hold on. Go ahead.
I would say women.
Okay, you would say women.
Yeah.
Who has an easier time getting a date, men or women? If you want, go ahead.
I honestly don't know.
I mean, you don't have like a sense. I mean, you have girlfriends, you have guy friends. Do you guys
She doesn't
talk
know.
about
Yeah,
this?
she
She
doesn't
doesn't
know,
know.
bro.
It's
Okay.
fine.
What about you?
I would say women definitely have it easier.
Okay.
Are we just saying our answers, or would
He
you
just
like
wanna
me
hear
to
from you guys.
elaborate?
He's like,
If you'd like to
I'll
elaborate.
elaborate a little bit about
What's up,
it,
Kiko?
but
No.
What's up?
I was just saying because she was like asking. I was saying he just wants you guys to talk because you're not talking. So just
Oh,
say
yeah,
something
yeah.
so we can
I
move
feel like we
forward.
need to
oh
address
yeah,
this
because
comment.
like
Well, no, I want to try to bring them
Bring
into
them
the
in. Yeah, that's-
conversation.
that's-
like we made the point earlier, women have the choice to whoever men they want. Obviously, they have a lot of options, but
Yeah, I
I
would agree with that.
but I think like we said, like we rated ourselves 10s. Like women are overly confident, so if a guy will walk up to you when you're out, you're gonna be like, oh no. So that like
Well,
that
that's part of
makes
the.
them feel insecure in a way, which is why
I don't think that's always true, though. I don't think that's always true. Men need it. Like again, listen. If men really want to be the leaders in the relationship, then that starts with asking the woman out on the date. And guess what? Yeah, you're gonna get rejected sometimes, but sometimes you're gonna get people who say yes. And if women were asking men out on dates, it would be exactly the same thing. Sometimes you're gonna get rejected. Sometimes you're gonna get people that say yes. If your expectation of asking people out on a date and the prerequisite for asking people out on a date is that everyone is universally going to say yes and it's all going to work out and it's going to be beautiful, that is an unrealistic expectation, bro.
it's harder for them to be able to talk to women and try to get more women.
At the bar, I see very successful encounters. So I don't know. Maybe it's just because everyone is drunk there. But when I am bartending, and I'll oftentimes see men approach women, majority of the time they either chat for a little bit, end up dancing together, whatever. I rarely ever see a man approach a woman at my bar, at least where I work, and them just be like straight fist. Unless they were like drunk as hell all over them being a weirdo, then of course.
Yeah.
But
the
usually
thing about,
they give them a chance.
The thing about that example, Kiko, is the type of dudes that are going to bars are gregarious, outgoing guys who like have confidence
Everyone
in
can
their
go to a
game,
bar,
and
bro.
they know that there's attractive girls out there and they want to go talk to them.
Yo.
That is not representative of the average.
Do you guys know how many men I've met and had interesting conversations with at bars? Because I used to travel all the time, and so anytime I went out to eat, I would go to a bar. I'd sit at the bar by myself, and almost like every single time, you're gonna strike up a conversation with someone. It might be like a restaurant, it might even be like at the airport or something like that, and like no one is restricting men from going out to the bar, and if they're single, like getting some food, sending a pretty girl a drink, like nothing is restricting you from doing that. The only thing that's restricting you from doing that is yourself. But to say like the only men who go to bars are boisterous and gregarious, no, that's not true, bro. Like all these lies that these shows tell about like you have to be this in order to get laid, you have to be this in order to get married. It's like not really.
Male population.
Okay, but like how Sam said, get out of there and go. When men approach women in a nice way and not creepy, majority of the time it's not met with just get away from me. Online, maybe because I'm not
agree.
gonna respond to a random man who just DMs me if
agree
I don't
with
know
her.
who they are. Because honestly, it's scary. I don't know who I can meet out there and be a weirdo and
Exactly.
chop me up into a million pieces.
People on
But,
the internet,
you know,
suck.
sometimes you could read it better in person. So I feel like for men, a lot of encounters come better. That's why I was gonna ask her, have you just started this after the pandemic? Like, have we seen a shift since the pandemic where people were inside trying to do this versus when men were out and approaching women and it wasn't as taboo for those things? I see them having a fairly easy time, especially in IV. It could be the ugliest man walking up to an average woman and they'll go home together. Men
Bro,
in
that's
IV have
such-
no
Yeah.
problem getting laid.
I agree.
I
Men
watched
have no
the
problem.
ugliest
I
men
agree.
get laid every single night.
Kiko,
I
because you are
agree.
seeing a specific subset of men.
That's
that
why I said
have
maybe it's the area.
confidence. No, it's not just the area. This is across the board. A very small amount of men are just getting women easily. For the vast majority, you shake your head.
Then maybe the men who lack confidence should work on their confidence. There are all sorts of self-help programs, bro. If you want to work on your confidence, there are men who will teach you how to pick up women. There are men. I used to be in the coaching world, man. Like I met coaches that specifically worked with men to make them feel better about themselves. If confidence is the issue and confidence is the thing that's getting in your way of getting laid or getting married or finding someone to love you, then go out and work on your confidence. I mean, I don't agree with this, but you're allowed to do whatever you want. I don't agree with this. Anyway, I feel like I'm actually kind of enjoying this now. I'm going to watch for maybe about 10, maybe more minutes. I'm going to finish my beer. And when the beer is done, I am done. Might take more than 10 minutes. We'll see.
I talk to a lot of men, Kiko, a lot of men, and they all come to me because they're like, bro, it seems like you have confidence in understanding how women work. Help me because I'm struggling with these women. A lot of dudes are not successful with women. The majority of guys are not successful with women. It is difficult for men to attract and keep women if they are average men. It is not.
It's really not.
It is below average.
It is
no.
It's
really
not.
Well, this is exactly why marriage rates are
really
declining.
not.
And it's also
oh
why
my
she
God.
has.
You want to know what makes it more difficult for men to get women? It's shows like this in which men hear it's impossible for you to get women. 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 Like they hear this over and over and over and over and over again, and they think, shit. I guess it's impossible for me to get a girl. I shouldn't even try, because they hear it from these people on the internet. They're like, bro, you're just average. You're never going to get laid. It's over. You know, it doesn't matter if you go to the bar or you get it on a dating app or whatever. It's just over. It's bullshit. It's not real, but they believe it's real. And so they act as though it's real. These guys are basic, boring, insecure, and salty because women don't find them interesting. That's the energy I'm getting from their posturing. I 1,000% agree, Rottweiler. Like this dude in the black shirt. The dude in none of these men, none of them. I don't find any of them attractive. I don't find any of them attractive at all in any way. I wouldn't date any of them. I wouldn't sleep with any of them. But there are plenty of just like average guys that are much more attractive than these guys. Significantly more.
800,000 followers across her platforms of attractive. You said it's
exactly,
below average men.
Brucey.
She has attractive
Exactly.
dudes that are struggling to get.
I would say
women.
any man who's going to her for that probably has some more deep-rooted issues.
No,
is the reason why they're having to
Kiko,
do that.
the problem is that you are judging. You are
normal.
judging all men based on the small subset of men that you see.
I don't think you could speak on.
You're judging off the small subset.
No, I know a shitload of guys.
So do I.
Okay, a shitload of guys.
Let's pull up some studies too, by the way.
Yeah, the majority
God,
of these guys.
why?
I mean, all you have to do is look at that thing that Brian brings up. The
Infographic.
Like how everyone's hoes.
Hold on.
How do hoes exist?
Hold on. The female delusion.
Fuck everybody.
Please listen.
Kiko, let him finish.
Please listen.
He's cut me off a lot of times, Brian. If you haven't
Kiko,
noticed.
you're the master of cutting off. Just let him finish, and then you can go. Well, you would look shocked, but just. By the way, you can keep a poker face while people are talking. You don't need to do like a whole.
Why does this
You
guy?
don't need to do like a.
How is
Brian,
this guy so
don't say anything to
How
me
is
anymore.
this guy
You don't-
successful?
Bro,
Do you want
don't-
views or no? If I
Bro,
was just
but-
sit here like this, you're not gonna get shit. So let me do
Bro,
what I
but-
do. Thank
but
you.
It's if you're like grimacing when someone's trying to make a point and you're like rolling your eyes, it's kind of rude.
He does the exact same shit. He,
Well,
like,
I'm not looking
Kiko,
at Chase.
I've
Maybe you
listened.
should.
I've listened to many of your points. I let you make them, and I try to address them. And the point that I want to make right now, throughout. So I've done. This is what the 9th episode that I've done at this point, and one of the things Brian has asked girls, he goes like, okay, so what kind of guys do you like, right?
Hang on. The guy in the black shirt says, "What kind of man would you find at a bar?" I believe he is Christian. Christians do go to bars. They do. Yeah. I agree. Thank you for the super chat.
Girls like tall guys.
Sometimes.
Who ideally make a decent amount of money. Oftentimes, like Deborah said, it's above 6 foot tall, right? And if you look up the female delusion calculator and you look at the amount of dudes that are above 6 feet tall that make, $90,000 a year or up, it's like less than 1% of the population. Okay. So you have women saying, hey, this is what I want. 99% of
Are
men,
we really telling people now that men can't get a date if they're not 6 feet tall? That's just not true. I'm sorry. Again, it's just not true. I've dated really tall guys. I've dated guys that are my height. I've dated, like, the tallest guy I dated was like 6'7". Dated a really, really hot musician that was 6'4". Dated many guys that were like 6 feet, 6'1", 6'2". You know who I married? The guy that was 5 foot. That's my height. He's 5'7". Victor and I are basically the same height. And yeah, I mean, he probably wishes he was taller. I mean, I think he does, but it never mattered to me. It literally never mattered to me. Now, would I date someone shorter than me? I mean, I will admit, shorter than me is a tough sell. But listen, I'm like 5'6". I'm not the tallest girl in the world, but I'm also not the shortest girl in the world. I kind of wish I was shorter, to be honest. I wish I was like shorter and like like I have a very athletic body. I know like people love like, oh, Carlin's so fat and lean, or like whatever. No, I actually like legitimately like have a very like the shape of my body tends to veer towards more athletic. I would like to be like I would choose to like soften that a bit if I could, but I can't help that. That's just my genetics. So I have a hard time with people who I would have a hard time dating people who are shorter than me, but I never had any problem dating someone that was my height. And I dated tall, beautiful people. And it didn't work out for reasons and reasons and reasons. Because that's the way life goes. But to tell people that, like, you can't get a date if you're below this height, that's bullshit.
men do not fit that standard. Okay. And so you say, well, it's the below average guys that, they can't get laid. Literally 99% of men do not fit in the average woman's standards for what they want in a partner. Do you see the problem there?
I see that, but my point is a lot of women might be saying that, but their actions aren't showing that. I might say that, but my last ex was broke as fucking 5'7".
You're
so
right.
he
Yeah.
still got to date me.
You're right.
And I
Which
was
is
not-
why
so
he got to date you.
yeah, he got to date me.
What?
Yeah. Let me say it again.
You guys
He
got to date
me.
You guys got to date each other, right?
Based off of the point of he's saying is how he's below me because he's not 6 foot and wasn't making that much money. In his eyes, he got to date me because based
Is
off
that
what
how
you guys
you
are
view
saying,
it? Is that your frame of how you view?
I would say he got to date me because he reached out to me for months beforehand and we had to have multiple friends intervene to get us into a relationship.
You didn't
That's
get to
why.
date each other?
Honestly,
You didn't feel
not,
fortunate to date him?
No, not at all.
So why did you date him?
I was honestly
Interesting.
dragged into it. I was in a very traumatic point of my life.
God.
Rip for this.
Can I say something? real
Okay,
quick
when I
on
met
this
him, I
topic?
was at a very
Eric, can you pull
low
up the
point of my life.
infographics?
We met 1 month before the pandemic hit, and we kind of just got stuck together.
A
If I had
convenient
never,
Stuck together.
if I wouldn't have experienced what I experienced right before meeting him, we were basically, if you know what the term is, we were trauma bonded basically together. And it took me a long time to get out of it, honestly, because I thought he was going to kill me. So after I was with him, I was scared to get out of it. So because you guys are fucking making fun of me, if you want me to actually say the real reasons, yeah, he was giving me those signs that if I was going to actually leave him, he was going to,
It's rude. It's rude.
What?
What?
Huh?
It's rude.
It wasn't me. It was Eric.
Well, I'm
I
sorry.
think
I'm
we
sorry
can
to hear
all
that.
No.
agree. There's a
No,
lot
it's
of
fine, but
psycho
it's just
guys
like,
out
dude,
there these days.
like you guys are acting like psychos.
What?
You guys want to see just one side of everything.
There are psycho guys out there, but to paint like you make it sound like it's like a large.
No.
percentage of the dating
It's
pool.
not a large percentage, but there are like these fringe group of guys that I don't know what it is. I don't know if this is new to society, but like the guys are like, I'll kill myself if you break up with me. Like, seek some help.
That's what he did at
Seek
first.
some
Yeah.
Women do
help.
that
There's-
shit too, though.
I know it's
Women do
manipulative
that
and bullshit,
shit.
and everyone needs
Exactly.
to get
For sure.
serious help if you're saying that to someone, because that's just manipulating somebody.
That's
you
like
do-
so rare, though.
It's-
There's
it happened
It's
to me.
not.
It's
It's
not.
not.
It's not.
It's
My
not
ex
that
girlfriend-
happened to everyone at this table.
Let me
Yeah.
just say
Every
for
single
anyone,
guy.
My ex-girlfriend
for
actually
anyone-
did, and she
for
got
anyone-
resuscitated. So that's why he knew he could play that card on me.
for
So it
anyone,
does happen.
for
It's
anyone
fine.
listening,
It's so fucking bullshit.
for anyone listening who finds themselves in a position where they want to kill themselves if they're
Oh, here's the virtue signal. He's gonna be
I
like,
just want to
and,
say to all of
this
you
is a good
guys,
thing to say,
find
but
purpose in your lives, find meaning in your lives, and fulfillment beyond relationships. It's my personal
it's
opinion.
good
I wanna make
advice, but
this
I
point
still think
for
he's
all
a
the people out there
jackass.
that are struggling. It's my personal opinion that you should be fulfilled in yourself and find joy and happiness in your own life and completeness as a person before you get into a relationship, so that you are not emotionally dependent on the validation of that person that you're in a relationship with. There
I
are a
agree.
lot of
Okay,
Amen.
good
people out there
advice.
like that.
I don't think
who-
he's
who
giving it for
become
honorable
suicidally
reasons,
depressed
but
after a
okay.
breakup.
It's an unhealthy attachment too.
It is.
Mhm.
You have to find fulfillment in yourself as a person outside of the relationship.
And even if you're
I
not
wanted to
fulfilled,
state
just
that.
don't kill yourself because you matter. Thank you. We love you.
Can I say something to this point? It's
Yeah,
that
alive.
we're arguing
Oh,
about like it
God.
started with do women have an easier time dating than men? And fundamentally, men are like, this is gonna sound, you know,
I need to drink this
kind of
beer
silly, but
faster.
like fundamentally, men, they are the ones that like go and they like penetrate the dating world, and women are the ones that look at
Penetrate.
all of their options.
You're too
and
far
they-
from the mic.
and they receive, right? So as a man, if you're a man and you're having struggling dating, it is entirely your fault. It is 100%
True.
on you,
I
and it's
disagree.
okay if
True.
Disagree.
it's
What I will say is, if you're struggling dating, it is a reflection of something that's happening in your personal life that can be improved upon. There's a lot of guys out there who are
Look at him
black-pilled
rolling
on
his
their options
eyes.
and the fact that women don't want them. And what I would say to every man in that position, if you work on yourself and you work on building your confidence as an individual, like the girls earlier in the discussion said, you can
I
give
wanna
off that
throw
tall
something at
man
this guy.
energy.
I
You
don't
can
like
become
him.
very attractive despite not being conventionally physically attractive. If you build your confidence, you build your energy, you build your value as a man. That is something that every guy should be working on so that they can be more successful dating. And it's something that is within every man's grasp.
I disagree that it's 100% a man's fault if he's struggling when it comes to
That's
dating.
because you're a
I mean,
beta.
There are
Basically,
other factors.
There's 100%. I mean, feminism
Like
is
what?
is one
like
of them.
feminism. Yeah.
Feminism is one of them because I mean,
We
the
are
way
poor
men
victims of
used
the
to
world
make
because
themselves
of the
attractive
women.
was by being providers. That's no longer good enough. So
Mhm.
men are struggling to find, I suppose, a meaning or purpose in their life because it used to be go provide for your family. If you're a provider, you'll find a woman, you'll take care of her. Single income household, you'll be the sole breadwinner. That's how it used to be. However, now because of feminism, and I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. However, it's a perhaps an unintended consequence of basically doubling the labor pool. And there's there's articles about this of women saying that they're not able to find economically attractive partners, and men are not appealing partners from an economic and financial sense. So that's
I
the
like-
chief way that a lot of men
Exactly.
made themselves
Hang on.
attractive was
Hang on. If men are supposed to lead, then yes, it is their fault. If your paradigm is you want men to be the leader, then men need to take responsibility for being the leader. Good night, Dan. Good to see you. And if men are not going to take responsibility for being the leader, then it is their fucking fault.
hey, just get a job. There'll be a woman for it. Hold on, let me just finish. Also, you have a globalized sexual marketplace. So you have dating apps, social media. You have dating apps, social media, internet, Instagram. So hold on.
She's just getting
Can you guys
freaked out.
not talk while I'm talking, please?
Oh my
Okay.
god, this guy is such a
So you
beta.
have
He is
globalized
so
sexual
awful.
marketplace where
How
in the
is
past
this
a
show
woman used to have,
successful? I don't understand.
if she lived in
I need to
Idaho,
drink more.
her pool of partners was in her city in Idaho. Now a woman can hop on Instagram, hop on a dating app, match with people within a 100-mile radius. She can get DMs. Guys don't get DMs like this. She can get DM by NFL players. She can get DM by this guy, this music producer, this actor, this famous athlete, whatever it may be. They'll fly her out to Miami. They'll fly her to Vegas. They'll fly her to LA. They'll fly her to Dubai. So you basically have women who have basically mind-boggling amount of options, whereas even an average woman, you guys said even
So guess what, bro? You're not going to get the Instagram influencer because you're a beta and it is really, really, really unappealing. And I don't care if you run the whatever podcast, like everything about you is so unappealing that you probably couldn't even get the Instagram influencer that's desperate to be on your show because they want to use it to launch their OnlyFans. So you're not going to get the Instagram influencer. So fucking what? The Instagram influencer is probably going to be one of the most annoying women you've ever met in your life. They're not going to be any fun to hang out with. Every time you guys go on a date or a vacation, they're going to be having their phone out and taking pictures and shit like that. Because it's all about the content, bro. The content, the content, the content. So go find yourself someone that's not an Instagram influencer.
A woman with 2,000 followers on Instagram has these blue check marks in her DMs. So women have such an insanely disproportionate amount of options, which they can now exercise on, let's say, and men simply don't have that. And so men are, last thing. So also with the dating apps, it's purely physical, and the data has been out there for years now. Women swipe on like less than 10% of guys. Women are all chasing after the same 10% of men on dating apps. Women already did that before dating apps, you know.
So stop dating
like
on dating apps.
Hypergamy, women would be chasing after the best guys at college, the best guys here, the best guys there. But now with digital, now with Instagram, now with dating apps, it's like hyper insane. So basically you have a much higher proportion of men who are getting zeroed out, who have no options, who are just like normal average dudes. Some of them between say normal average to like even good looking dudes are getting zeroed out because they're all chasing after these top percentage of men.
Yes.
So for that reason, it's really not men's fault, I think.
Okay. I hear
Trying
you.
to make every excuse
Women
in the book for himself.
have overinflated
Every
egos
excuse in the book.
after downloading apps. With the advent of social media and dudes sliding into their DMs, they see, wow, I'm really actually a hot girl that's worth this much. You have to look at, you know, are they getting fulfilling relationships?
No.
They're probably just getting smashed and passed. But with that being said, my point still stands, and I stand by it, that if you're a man, you don't have any time to sit around and say, woe is me, pity me.
It's not my fault.
Oh, you're not getting dates because of whatever reason. Like, as a
I'm
man,
miserable
you need to
right
go
now.
out
I'm about
and
ready to
fuck the
finish my
world.
beer. I'm so
You need to
close.
go out and like make
Almost
yourself
done.
the best possible man that you can be from wherever you're starting. And I understand that it's hard, but if you sit around and complain and focus on all the negative reasons why you can't get a date, then you're going to continue to see that show up in your life rather than going into Trader Joe's and looking confused, which is what you should be doing. You should try and improve upon yourself. And my point, it was simply that as a man, a lot of guys just aren't putting in the work. And myself
I didn't ask
included,
for this. Trendalyn
in
made
the past, like there are times when I get lazy and when I become complacent and when I'm not doing the things that I need to be doing. And when I'm completely on top of my stuff, like women, they just come into my life naturally.
Yeah.
And my advice to any
True.
man is that there's hope. Like you evaluate yourself realistically and do the best that you can do, because that's your only option. There's no option to just sit around and complain that dating has become harder because women's egos are inflated by social media and by dating apps, even though that's true.
Martin donated
Okay, that's it. I've been watching this shit for 2.5 hours. I have finished my third beer. I'm done. I'm never watching the whatever podcast again. Fuck this. I have lost at least 20 IQ points. I don't know what I'm going to do to recover these IQ points between now and tomorrow. I guess it's already tomorrow. It's 1 a.m. Trendalyn, I'm not going to forget about this. Never again. I'm never watching the whatever podcast again. I've done 2 episodes of the whatever podcast right now. This episode was actually more painful for me than the first episode. I'm done. I've done my time. And now I'm going to go get laid. Because I know my husband's still awake. And that seems to be a better use of my time than watching the whatever podcast. But I will be back At 5 p.m., we will have happy hour, and I will drink some more beer, and we will go from there. All right. Yeah, exactly. We are owed an apology, Trendalyn. We're not going to forget about this, Trendalyn. All right. I've done my penance for being 27 minutes late today. I will never be 27 minutes late again. I'm sorry. All right, guys. Good night. Take care. We'll see you soon.